Is that
It was actually in um one of those volcano movies with Pierce Brosnan.
was that like the volcano movies where they're like trying to escape the lava and their trucks spinning the tires in the lava?
All right. Am I there? Whoa. It ain't a show without feedback. Okay. Can I hear you, Willie? You want to say something so I can see if I can hear you?
Yep.
Oh, sounds great. Fantastic. All
Yep.
right.
Yep.
All right. Well, I'll get us our opening track queued up here. Give out some retweets. Do some of that stuff. Yeah, I was out hanging with the dog, and then I just happened to look down at the phone, and I was like, "Holy shit! I got things to do. There's fans to be taken care of. There's guests to be taken care of."
Tuesday, man. That shit.
I know. It's a beautiful day. I mean, just been the long weekend. Well, you guys had the long weekend down there, right? So
Yeah.
I took the Monday off so that I could support my fellow Americans on their holiday. And
There you go.
I don't regret it. I'll tell you that right now. I do not regret it. It was fantastic. All right, I think I got our song queued up here. We'll play the song. See if we get a couple more people in here. Retweet it out. All right. Well, that failed miserably. WX8BK, this is the night train. You heard the conductor. Well, you normally would have heard the conductor saying all aboard, but we didn't hear him tonight. But you heard the train horn. The train's about to leave the station. Time to jump on board. Join us in the lounge car. Don't worry about tickets because the ride is always on us. My name is Bits, and I've got my other host down there with me, Mr. One Wheel Willie. How you doing tonight, Willie?
I'm hanging in there.
You just
Hanging in
get a little too wild on the old holiday yesterday, or what, buddy?
there. No, man. I came down with strep throat,
Oh, dude,
so trying to nurse that.
you sound good for having strep. I'll tell you that.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I don't feel good.
Oh, that's.
As long as I sound good.
Oh, you sound good, buddy. I'm sure you look good too, pal.
Oh, I always look.
Oh, all right then. Yeah, absolutely. We'll go with it. Awesome. Well, yeah. Well, that's really crappy. So is that because of the dirty children? You folks with children
No,
get that
I
stuff.
don't know where the hell I got it from. Nobody else has it.
That's wild.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a new one.
It's probably because the kids are invincible to it. They've already had that version of strep, so
Yeah, they're immune.
right, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Well, crappy, buddy. Well, we'll I'll do more talking tonight, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
Bits do more talking. Sign me up. I'm there, man. I'm there.
Like I gotta twist your arm, right?
Right? Absolutely. Rich is down there. Thanks for popping in here tonight, Rich. Good to see you. That opening track that we played tonight was Ashitaba by Mark Fendel, friend of the show. He won't be joining us tonight. He's out at a gig tonight, enjoying himself out there in Seattle. So the studio in Seattle is empty night. We won't be seeing him there. Don't see anybody from the Miami studio.
Tuesday? What the heck?
I know, right? I told him, I said, well, can't you get the homie to and who was it that he was? I really should look up who he was seeing, because it was one of a pretty great artist here. I'm trying to click around to do that. I will figure it out. But yeah, I pinned it up to the top. If anybody likes that tune, you're interested in picking it up, you can definitely do so, or it'll be pinned up at the top in a second. It was minted. Fendel did the music for it, and then www O'Ronan did the visual for it. Really cool visual, really dope combination. Fendel's worked with Ronan quite a few times, and they're a really good mix. So really good vibe, that one. Really good vibe. I like that a lot. Totally dig it. That's why I played it. It's up there at the top. If you're interested in purchasing it, 2-year anniversary special edition. Speaking of music, WX8BK's NF Tunes latest episode is upcoming this Thursday. It will be episode number 2, featuring music on the blockchain. We've got some really great artists coming up on this one. We are featuring Fendel on that one, Shadow Music, and it's eluding me too. Kane Mayfield is also going to be with us. I'm actually just trying to find the damn post. I made a tweet that I meant to pin up, but that stuff just doesn't work all the time, does it? Especially on this space when you're doing it live. We'll find that up there. So definitely, keep an eye out for that. We'll be tweeting it out here. I'll be tweeting it out on the NF Tunes Twitter, and also on the Bits Twitter, and I'm sure Willie will be twittering it out. We'll get it out there. It's going to be a really great episode number 2. Got to feature the music on the blockchain, right? It's very, very, very important to support everybody, all artists of all kinds, all makes, all fashions, all sounds. There it is. I just found it, so I'll get that pinned up at the top. And yeah, that was a lot of talking I did. Willie, maybe I can't do it. Maybe I can't talk that much. Nah, I can. I can.
Yeah, you got it.
I didn't do much collecting last week at all. Not even the least. I got I was buying a few pieces. I bought a few pieces for the NF Tunes wallet, the WX8BK NF Tunes. So I was doing that. Didn't really collect anything else. I got all of Jay Byrne's latest release. Gather Round is the latest EP he's got out, and I got all 4 of his tracks. Oh, we had Texadelic. Texadelic dropped us some stuff this week too, right? As always, the Backstage Passengers received quite a few free gifts from him again this week.
Yeah, I picked up a couple others that he had listed as well.
Yeah, I saw that he had a few going on there. Did you get in?
Yeah, that's about all I've really done this week. I dropped the Oh Hellos something. I don't know if that was this week or last week.
Must have been last week, because this Oh Hello owner did not get one. But I got an Oh Hello now. I didn't even realize I didn't even have. And for anybody that doesn't know, that's one of One Wheel's pieces. And he's rewarding the collectors that own that piece right now, and doing a fine job of it from what I've seen. I didn't realize I didn't have one until you had said something.
Some of that. I didn't set my Wi-Fi correctly before I got the space.
You missed some of which?
I missed some of that you said, yeah.
Oh, I was just saying that's one of your collections there, and I didn't realize that I did not have one until you tweeted about it last week, and I was like, oh, I guess I should go grab one of those.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Is that how we say it? Oh, hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. I was trying to find a tweet. Is it your pinned tweet on yours?
Yeah, it's my pinned tweet.
All right. Well, I'm going to put it up. I'm going to get it up there at the top if I can manage to chew bubble gum and do some chat.
So you missed that drop.
I did.
There'll be more. There'll be plenty. No worries.
All right. Well,
one of those never a bad time to get in.
Right. I'm in there now, man. I'm in there.
And then the only other thing I picked up was this guy Pickle Res, and he does like I don't know cartoon animations of like one of them that I picked up is like the 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 car desert scene from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and then another one is like Rick and Morty. They're pretty cool pieces.
Cool. And you said that he's a pixel artist? Is that what you just said? Sorry.
Not real. No,
Oh, okay.
not really.
I thought I heard that. Maybe I'm just things
No,
breaking.
it's Pickle Res is his
Oh,
name.
pickle, not pixel.
Yeah.
Well, I dig that already. It's
Pretty cool.
the old Twitter machine is just still a hot mess with people seeing people on your feeds and stuff like that. Like it's crazy. Like one I saw something from by accident today of Clown Vamp. I saw a Clown Vamp post today that randomly came up, and I was like, well, I haven't heard from Clown Vamp in a while. It's been very quiet. But then of course I go to Clown Vamp's Twitter. No, not quiet, just not showing up on any of my feeds. And here I am. I'm running the WX8BK Twitter, the Bitscraft Twitter, as well as the NF Tunes Twitter, and the one other one. And it's just shocking how really bizarre it is, how the algorithms and how all that crap works. Like, it's a mess, man. And actually, I see Rich down there too right now throwing us some hand claps and some hearts and stuff like that. And that's another person. Like, Rich Sanders has dropped off of my Twitter feed. Like, we had him on the space, and then for whatever reason, bye-bye. I know he's there, but I have to look for him in the morning to say GM and stuff. And it's bizarre, man. It's bizarre. But
Well, it's what's kind of bad when Elon has space to run fucking correctly and doesn't have people to manage that. Like did you hear the what was it, DeSantis announcing his presidency bid on a Twitter space?
oh yeah, and it crashed. It didn't work out for him or something there. That's the
Well,
Florida governor, right? That's doing that. Yeah.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, they started with like 800,000 listeners, I think. And then by the time they were able to like even get anything going, it took them like 20 minutes to fucking get it going, and they were blaming it on servers and shit. I'm like, I don't think so. I'm like, I think you idiots just didn't know what the fuck you're doing. And then like, so by the time they finally got it going, like started talking or whatever, like they're down to like 200,000. But then, like, I mean, if you heard any of the audio, like, it was just a shit show. Like,
Okay.
Elon was in the same room as somebody else, both on speakerphone. So it's echoing because their mic they're getting feedback from being in the same room. Like come on, guys. Yeah.
See,
Just
we're very
really
very fortunate here at WX8BK that the studio is very vast. The
yeah.
our studio covers North America from East Coast to West Coast. No, I heard there was lots of problems. They were talking about it on our radio station up here, and I heard that it was just a disaster. And I'm like, man, Willie and I run spaces every week for the last year. Over the last year, we've ran spaces every week, and we've never really had problems like that.
Yeah,
We're
our
good,
problems are usually only on the other end,
right?
are on Twitter's end. But it was such an offer. Like, so many people that I heard, like different radio stations talking about it, didn't know what Twitter Spaces were. So it was such an opportunity, just like a blown opportunity, to really get the word out about Twitter Spaces and things like that, and
Good
just
point.
blown by them fucking up on their end, like by not knowing how to do it.
Right
You
there,
know what
you
I mean?
that's a good
Like
point.
it wasn't the servers, it wasn't the technology, it was the host, it was the showrunners or whatever you want to call
The operators,
them, the operators. Yeah,
man,
yeah,
that's
just
that's
blown opportunity.
that's disappointing. Well, it's really funny because I mean we've kind of even run into it too when we had the car artist. What my name is
Kelly Telfer.
Kelly Telfer, right? Because even him, like he just thought we were on like a group call, right? Like kind of thing. Like it was kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but I mean that's you're right. Like that's really cool. That's really interesting. That there was a really big blown opportunity to really spread out there that this kind of thing is happening on Twitter, right? That these broadcasts are on here, and they're on here all the time, man. And there's some damn good ones. I don't get to listen to as many as I'd like to, but I know there's tons of them.
And the majority of them are free.
Yeah,
I mean, I think they're doing some now where you can be a premium subscriber to get it or something like that. But for the most part, they're all free.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's some real absolute crap content on some of them, but there's some real killer content on some of these. I mean, like this one, for example, just throwing it out there. Yeah, no, that's interesting. Yeah, a wasted opportunity. I that's a really good point, Willie. A very, very good. But also too, Elon doesn't he doesn't care, right? He's walking away. He's hired hired his new well, they've got the new person that's going to run it that he hired last week, I believe it was. I think it's a lady that's going to be running the Twitter. And I think in the ad, yeah.
But we know how Elon runs companies, and that's in name. You know what I mean? Like he's still going to be very involved. Like he just wants somebody else to be like, hey, you figure out you deal with the server issues and things like that. I'm going to tell you how. I want to tell you like how to manage.
Well, he feels it's not going to exist very shortly. I think that's his. He thinks it's just an ever failing kind of thing, but I don't know. I don't believe that. Anyways. This Twitter space has been running for over a year constantly with very, very few hiccups. I mean, I might have fallen asleep at one point in time, but I mean,
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often. Oh, shit.
That's enough.
Cool. All right, then. Yeah, it's enough about that. Yeah. So anyways, next week we have Iteration will be our guest next week here on the Night Train. If y'all know Iteration, definitely join us next week for that. We are here every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Rain, shine, with Willie, without Willie, with bits, without bits, without guests, without artists, without people listening. We're always here. We do this regardless. Tuesday night at 9 p.m. If you need a place to be and some nattering to listen to fall asleep to, we are here for you 100%. Hopefully for eternity. Maybe not, but we're going to push it really hard. Got some new faces in here. Lexi Hartz, thank you for popping in with us tonight. Another very, very dedicated fan and a person that does some amazing artwork in the space. Thanks for joining us once again. Yeah, what else did I have to talk about in the beginning here in the housekeeping? I think that was it, because, I didn't really collect anything, didn't really do anything. I heard today there's been a few letters penned about AI, possibly taking over the world in the future, and everybody's joked about it, but some of the godfathers of AI have really talked about it, and I think that's kind of interesting. I laugh at it. I think it's like I think when people talk about that, about AI taking over and it's going to, kill humans and all this kind of, Terminator kind of jazz, it just cracks me up. It reminds me a lot of the Millennium issue when the year 2000 came and they were like, oh my God, all the computers are going to crash because they're only meant to go to 1999. And midnight hit and nothing happened.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the same way.
They did spend 2 years and a ton of money trying to make sure that
whatever. My Windows 95 computer still fired up, no problem. We're good. That's the way that I put it. That's how it's gonna be. All right, that's how it's gonna be. Cool, man. Well, I think no time like the present then to bring up our guest, since
I was going to mention that the Testones draft is tomorrow.
Oh.
For season 1. I think this is where they're going to do it for like 3 or 4 drops as a team, so that they can kind of build that team before they, the first 2 drops were they like redrafted teams every drop, the first 2 drops, but I think this one they're going to keep for a couple drops, couple months, so. That'll be interesting to watch.
Right. Very good point. Thanks for bringing that up, Willie. I just literally Excuse me. I just literally opened up my notebook here. I'm like, oh, I don't have my notebook opened up. And what was the first thing in there? Test tones. Test tones. Yes, you're very right. So it's tomorrow. So for visual and audio artists that are interested in getting involved with it for this season, tomorrow's a deadline, and it's at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So for all you East Coasters, you have a lot of time if you want to jump in on there and get in on that. But yeah, the team thing is going to be very interesting. It's kind of cool how they're doing it this round, how they've decided to really get into it.
It's going to be fun to see how the teams kind of mesh and grow together.
Yeah.
You know, because if you just look through any artist object page or like that, and you can really see a progression if you're looking for it from their oldest mints to their newest mints. But to see like a group like that, or a collab work together more than once, and to kind of see where they take it together, I think it's going to be really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, there's been some super fire pieces coming out of that project. I did pin it up at the top. I got Hash Brown's pin up at the top there about it. If anybody wants to check it out, basically what they do, for anybody that doesn't know, is they take visual artists and musical artists, audio artists, and initially they were randomly combining them together in a draft, and now they're actually building teams, and then they work together to create a piece. And then there is, at the end, there's judges that judge the pieces, and they give out awards, and it's becoming a really great thing. In fact, we here at WX8BK have a blimp that flies over the spatial when they do their final voting and presentation of the art pieces. We have a blimp that flies over the stadium. Just throwing that out there. We have a blimp. Just throwing that out there. Not everybody has a blimp.
Not everybody has a blimp.
No, we might have a golf cart in the next one too. I was thinking.
Oh, be cool.
Apparently, he's working on us being able to drive the blimp instead of it just doing a track around the arena. Apparently, he's working on us being able to drive the blimp, and I don't know. I don't know if that
sounds like too much work for me.
I don't know if it's a good idea. I'm going to get in there and start crashing into people and. I mean, let's face the facts. Usually it's on a Saturday afternoon, and I mean, hey, if it's sunshine and beautiful outside, I've got my feet in the grass and I'm having a couple beverages. I don't know if I should be driving a blimp.
Yeah.
That's all good. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, and that I got my book. So that was the last thing I had on my page for for things, but I really am happy that I brought my damn notebook out. And I should have brought it out earlier but I was, fighting with an iPad that's friggin' 10 years old. Got to get Bits a new iPad. I'm gonna have to get me a new iPad soon. Maybe after Miami this year, I'll get a new iPad. Maybe when Big iPad, sponsors us.
I mean, it'd be nice to have some sponsors. I don't know if we're getting Big iPad in there.
It's definitely probably not.
I think we'd be lucky to get an Amazon Fire tablet as a sponsor.
Give me anything. Take anything. Give me an iPad that's been dropped on the ground. I don't even know. I don't know. Cool. All right, I see you brought Daniel up. That's good. Willie's on it. He may have strep throat, but Willie's on it.
I'm trying to, man. I didn't work it all today, real IRL, so I'm trying to, feel like I've done something productive for the day.
Well, you brought Daniel up as a speaker, man. Way to go. That's all right. You produced. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
How's it going, man?
Hey, everything's well. How about you guys?
Fantastic.
Good.
Well, I'm fantastic.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely. No, you sound great. You sound the voice of an angel over there. Or the devil, I don't know.
Oh, thanks, man.
Cool.
So it's all a matter of point of view, I guess.
That's right. Somebody's angel is somebody's devil, right?
That's sweet.
Well, cool, man. Thank you very much for giving us your time and coming to hang out with us. And kudos to Willie for reeling you in and getting you in on our radar. And we're happy to have you tonight. 100%.
Oh, hey, no problem, dude. Thanks for having me, man. Super stoked to be here.
Absolutely. I'm learning a lot about your art. Since
Hmm.
in the last couple of weeks, I've been scrolling through all of your art and checking it all out, and definitely have some questions. If you don't,
No, yeah, sure.
if you don't mind, just give us a little introduction about yourself, a little background. Anything you wanna dox yourself on or give us is fine. You don't have to tell us where you live or what your street address is or whatever. But just give us a little
No, no
background on who
problem.
you are. All right.
Uh, well, my name is Daniel, yeah, obviously, and I'm an illustrator and animator from São Paulo, Brazil. And I've been doing art in general, like ever since I was a kid. But and uh, I've done quite a few different things. So back when I was a teenager, I was involved in the local music scene, underground music scene. Then I jumped to underground comics. I did online comic strips. Then I did some animations for music videos, and well, now I'm NFTing. and, yeah, that's me.
Cool. Um, so music. So you've been doing this. You've been an artist since you were a kid. What what?
Yeah, yeah.
So were
Hmm?
you always were you all, like was it like pen and paper, pencil, crayons? I mean, obviously, I don't know how old you are, but I mean, you probably didn't have tablets when you were a kid and stuff like that. Um,
No, no, yeah. I'm an '80s kid.
right on, right on. Um, what kind of music were you into in the music scene?
Oh yeah, I was a punk kid. I listened to a
Nice.
lot of punk rock and hardcore, and we'd have like super cheap instruments, and we'd play crappy Ramones covers in my friend's garage. Then then we get to some heavier shit later on. Then I spent like around 10 years in the underground scene, playing with bands and such. But drawing was always my first my main thing. That's what I do ever since I was a kid. And after the bands, after I decided to stop with music, I I said, well, let's get back to drawing because the whole time I spent with music, I kind of ignored drawing a bit. But then after I quit the whole music scene, I decided to go back headfirst into drawing. And everything I've done ever since has been drawing one way or another. Like I said, either doing or was doing the online comics, then doing some animations. Then I found NFTs, and it was kind of like that's what I was telling a friend of mine the other day. It was sort of like what I've always wanted due to creative freedom. Being able to sort of like make a living while drawing whatever I felt like. You know, so I kind of doubled down on it. So I embraced it full time, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah, that's definitely a it's definitely a big plus with the NFT world is that you don't have anybody breathing down your neck about how you have to create things or anybody that's going to
Oh yeah,
censor you or whatever. You can go full blown, and it's a beautiful thing. And a lot of artists,
it is. It is. It is.
yeah, no, definitely a
I
lot
mean,
of
especially
artists.
because. Oh, sorry,
No,
sorry.
go ahead.
Go on.
No, go right ahead.
No, especially because before I got into, I was on board onto Tezos. I was, like I said, I was doing animations for music videos, so I was super involved in the music industry, and it was super cool because I'd be working mainly with local rap acts, and I'm a huge fan. But I mean, despite it being super free in regards to creativity, you're dealing with clients, and sometimes you're dealing with major labels, and major labels are the fucking suck,
Yeah.
and yeah, and it was a super breath of fresh air to find a space where I just don't have to care about clients or like you said, people breathing down my neck and saying, "Oh no, I do this or do that or whatever."
Mhm.
And like I said, it's been sort of like what I've always dreamed of doing. You know, just trying whatever and being able to, you know, provide by doing so. You know.
Mhm. When did you jump into the NFT scene? What year about?
It was 2021. It was
Okay.
right before. I mean, it was right when they released the original Hen. Uh, I was still working with animations. Then I saw a couple of artists. I mean, there was this one guy who made a music video for this artist I previously worked with, and I thought it was really cool. So I hit him up to, you know, chat a bit with him, and then I saw he'd post a few things on IG with the hashtag crypto art or NFT art, and I'd be like, dude, what's crypto art? And then he gave me the rundown, and he said, oh, this week a friend of mine, he's releasing a new website on this blockchain called Tezos. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And he brought me over to Discord, and we started a chat, and he explained everything to me. And he said, oh, here, take 3 Tezos so you can start out. I'm like, oh, cool. And that action alone by the guy, it really reminded me a bit of how things used to be back when I was involved in the local music scene, especially in the punk rock scene, because a lot of people helping each other, and that was something I was sort of like not used to. Afterwards, when I started getting involved in visual arts, and I was like, hey, cool, that's really nice of you. And then the following week, they released the OG hand, and I minted a couple of things there, but it wasn't. I was still working with animations, and I didn't pay very much attention. But the funny thing was that every now and then, whenever I'd go back to my wallets to see, oh, let's, you know, see what's up, there'd always be, you know, something sold, and it's like, oh, cool. I mean, I can pay some bills with this money, you know. Yeah. I can pay the light or the water bills or whatever. And by the end of, I think it was, yeah, by the end of 2021, I started getting fed up with a couple of clients from these animation gigs, and I said, you know what, fuck this. Let's try the whole NFT thing out. And that's when I came in head first. It was by December 2021, January 2022. That's when I started taking it seriously and minting constantly. It's when I released my first big collection, which was the Redux collection that I recreated a couple of famous paintings,
Right.
and it started from there, and then I went on. Yeah, and here I am.
And that's funny that you mentioned that because I'm just literally looking at this Redux collection right now. Right as you said that, I was just
Oh,
checking.
cool,
That's
cool.
cool. No,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that was the
that's what's
first
on
big one
my mind
I
too.
did. Ah, cool. Thanks, man.
yeah. Too. You're really a lot of your pieces. I'm really enthralled with a lot of this stuff. I mean, and it was really funny because um, sometimes Willie and I are on the same. We're already collecting together because Willie will see that I'm collecting something and ask me, and he'll get into it. He'll look into it, or Willie will send me a piece, or I'll send Willie a piece, and
Mm-hmm.
you're actually the first person where Willie's like, hey, I got Daniel W. and blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh, the name rings a bell, but I don't, and I had to go look, and I'm like, well, I don't own any of your stuff. And then I just got very,
Oh,
very enthralled with all these pieces. There's a couple pieces I'm definitely sure that I'm going to purchase, and I'm going to make some purchases
oh,
once I
cool.
once I load up some Tez. But we won't talk about that right this second because I don't want to
Mm.
make promises that I can't cash. Um, I just kind of want to go back and touch on something that you said that you said that the person that got you into this was like, hey, here's three Tez to start you off, and
Mm-hmm.
it's really funny because we've heard that numerous times from artists in this space where they're like somebody brought them in and said, well, here's a couple Tez, do something with it, like check it out,
Yeah, yeah,
and that's
yeah. It's super common, right?
yeah, it's really cool, and it kind of goes with the vibe that we've found that happens with Tezos too, is that like
Mm-hmm.
the Tezos family is really loving, really caring, and really willing to show and lend a hand and hang out with everybody, right?
Yeah, it is. And I mean, what caught me was like he gave me the three Tezos, and I said, "Okay, cool, dude. When I make when I sell something, I'll pay you back." And he said, "No, dude, just do the same thing I did with you with whoever else that wants to get on board, and it's all good." I was like, "Wow, dude, that's super solid of you. Yeah, that's really nice." I mean, shout out Kosha, by the way. He's a super awesome guy. He's been around
Kosha.
like ever since the beginning. He's a really cool dude, a really awesome artist. He works with a lot of 3D animation and stuff. He's really cool.
Cool. What was his name? Kosha?
Uh, Kosha, Kosha. I'll
Yeah.
send it over
Okay.
to you
Okay. Sure.
on chat. Let me find it over here.
Sure.
Let me just.
It's all part of the cycle. It's all part of the cycle. Absolutely. Oh, there we go. Little key
Yeah,
clicking.
yeah. I mean, he's an amazing dude. I mean, and it was funny because I heard a couple of weeks back somebody mentioning that they found the Tezos environment suspiciously nice. And that was exactly what I felt when I got it. I was like, man, why is everybody so nice, dude? And at first it was kind of, kind of like with my guards up because I was like, shit, dude. Where I come from, the artistic environments I've been involved in, it's always been super cutthroat,
Mm-hmm.
especially music and the music industry and so on. So it was super new to me to be in an artistic environment where people are, where like people are just nice, and supportive. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a
It's
beautiful
really
thing.
cool.
Even in this, I mean, yeah,
It
just
is.
in this world nowadays, period. It's a really special
Mm-hmm.
thing. I mean, Willie and I have been doing this space for just over a year, and I met Willie.
Mm-hmm.
I met Willie through a couple other projects, and then we got into the Wag Me Wine project, and we started. Willie DM'd me in the background, and we were talking back and forth. And this space that we're doing now was created because we just wanted to talk about gameplay in the Wag Me Wine project, and it's evolved into this kind of a space.
Cool.
And it was really funny because we had been doing this space. Well, we started May, and then November came around, and Art Basel was happening in Miami,
Mm-hmm.
and we were doing. Wag Me Wine was doing like a meetup there kind of thing, and all of the artists, a lot of our artists in Tezos were going to this and hanging out in this, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in, and everybody's like, yeah, I'm in, and then like all my family members are like, well, you're flying to Miami to like meet all these strangers, like, aren't you sure? Are you sure? Like, are you gonna get killed? And I'm like, I thought about it for a second, and then I'm like, well, this is a really long play if these guys are, really. And I didn't even
Long play.
a long play and a big play, and I mean, I've expressed numerous times that I am not a rich person, so I don't know what they're after, anyways. But yeah, and it was really odd because Willie, well, with all the people that I had met, but like Willie and I had been doing this space since May, and this was the end of November,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know what he looked like. I didn't know who he was.
Uh-huh.
I knew nothing until I flew down there, and he opened the
Damn.
door. He opened the door, and I'm like, man, and it was just it never ended. Like that 5 days there, man, was the most amazing thing in the world. And I dedicate it to the
Oh,
Tezos.
that's so cool.
Yeah, I dedicate it. I give it to the Tezos community for making that happen. It was a beautiful thing. But yeah, like it's funny how how you said that. How well this feels suspiciously friendly. The Tezos community.
It is. It is. It's super suspiciously friendly, especially if before Tezos you only hear about NFTs through the Ethereum scene.
Right.
And Ethereum, it's a scene which is a bit more. I think it reminds me a bit more of local art scenes where everything is much more cutthroat and people are, Tezos it reminds me a lot of. It has this underground feeling to it with people helping each other. It's super cool, dude. It's amazing. I love
Right.
it.
Right. And like you said, a little bit punk rock, like you said earlier, right? Like it's
Yeah,
just that
yeah.
kind of vibe.
It is. It is a lot. It's super cool.
That is dope. I love it. And then we hear it week in and week out. I mean, these stories. That's why I said when you talked about somebody handing you 3 Tezos, to start your journey. Like we hear it in and out, and I love it. It's just it's real.
It is.
It's real.
It's fucking amazing.
It's real creepy to the people on the outside, but once you come in, it's warm and fuzzy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is. But I guess I'm used to creeping out people on the outside, I suppose.
Yeah, well, there you go. Story of my life too, but it's all good. We're here now. We're here now.
Yeah.
Now we're the kings.
Exactly.
Just to kind of circle back a little bit, when you talked about in your earlier days when you were doing comics, like what was that vibe like? What kind of comics were you doing? What was that deal there?
It was a really funny period of my life. I quit the band and I said like I mentioned, I decided to go back to drawing. And there's this guy who's a really, he's my best friend. We've been friends ever since we were kids. And he always enjoyed writing, and drawing has always been my thing. And then we decided to, hey, let's join and do comics. And then we do some it was kind of a variety sort of thing. We at the time we used to live at a rundown hotel at a really shady spot of the city, but it was super fun despite that. And we just sit around all day just smoking weed and thinking about stupid jokes, and let's do comics about these jokes. It was a funny ass period, I'll tell you that, dude. It was super funny because, like I said, it was this rundown hotel that was owned by the dad of a friend of ours. So it was me and this guy living together, and we had two other friends living in another apartment. So it was pretty much our hotel, and we just spent the whole day there, like just creating stuff, drawing and writing comics and so on. And like I said, we just spend the whole day trying to make each other laugh. And when we were able to finally get something funny, we'd do a comic about that. And it was pretty much it. We did that for like 7 years, I guess. Yeah, around something like that.
Wow.
How are you able to monetize that? Are you like selling it online?
Oh, we didn't. No, we didn't. At the time, it was super hard to monetize this kind of thing. So, at the time, he used to work as a video game journalist, and I worked as a translator back then. Yeah, and I do some.
So this is just something on the side you guys were doing for fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I like to consider the job I had at the time the something on the side, because doing the comics was something I was really focused on, and translating was just something I could do super easily and get out of the way in like 30-40 minutes, and I'd spend the rest of the day just doing comics. But yeah, it was something we occasionally would be able to monetize by selling print compilations of the comics. We just throw them all together, print it, and go to conventions with a shoulder bag full of comics and just sell it hand by hand.
Okay,
and
very
it
cool.
was super good. Yeah, it was super guerrilla. And then eventually we used to get some tables in conventions as well after a couple of years. But it was super traditional in this sense, because back then it was like 10 or 12 years ago. Yeah, it was like 2010, 2012 or something. There wasn't too many options for monetization for this kind of stuff at the time. It was super basic back then.
Yeah.
I mean, so we'd still have to, get around by doing it the traditional way. Okay. But it was super fun.
Were you hand drawing all the comics, or were you like? I guess that's a while ago, so you probably weren't doing it on iPad or anything like that, right?
No. I would do it at first. I would do it digitally. I mean, first I would do it on paper, and scan it, and then I, do a little coloring on Photoshop. But then a couple of years later, I bought my first tablet, a little Wacom, and then I started doing digitally.
Okay.
But it took a bit. I mean, it's still. I still had a bit of an analog period over there in the beginning. It took me a while to go full digital, I guess.
Is that how you still do all your drawing today? Is full digital with like a tablet? Like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, now I've upgraded. I got myself like one of those Huion graphics tablet, those big ones, and I'll still sketch the thing on paper. I mean, it's what I'm used to, so I kind of feel more comfortable doing the initial sketch on paper, but then I'll just snap a picture and finish it up on Photoshop.
okay.
I mean, and it's in. I mean, oh shit! I choked. uh,
It's all
but
good.
yeah, I mean, iPads over here in Brazil, they're expensive as fuck. So it's still something that's kind of hard to come by. You know.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure anywhere in the world, iPads are expensive as fuck.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, definitely.
No, that. I mean, that's really cool. Like, I mean, because you don't use any AI or anything either, right?
No, no, it's no.
No.
I mean, I have nothing against it. I think it's really cool. It's a cool technology. Eventually, I want to play around with it, but no, I just it's everything hand drawn.
Mhm.
I'll draw it on paper first, then I'll just throw it on the computer and finish it up.
And then
Yeah.
we've talked to a few artists like that, right? That I mean, it's whatever your
Hmm.
process is that's it is what it is. And I think it's very cool to hear that as well, because I mean, some folks may only
Hmm.
see your finished product, and everybody assumes it's always done digitally, right? But
Hmm.
a lot of artists don't always do that, right? I know Rich Sanders down there. He has himself a nice sketch pad that he sketches everything out on before he goes into his
Hmm.
process. We've had a few artists on here, and that's how they work. And the whole doing it on pen and paper or whatever your medium is, analogly, and then digitizing it is like a very big process. I like to hear that. Like I think it's really cool. That was kind of my point. Is that I think it's something that people may miss sometimes when everybody will automatically
Hmm.
think that because it's on a computer that it was digital,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
knowing that it
Yeah.
was not before is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, oh no,
go
go on,
ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
I was saying, or
No, no.
now, people just assume that it's AI when it's not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People just sort of assume it from the get go, I guess. But I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm old or whatever, but I mean, I kind of feel more comfortable sketching things out on paper. I mean, sometimes I'll start out digitally, but it's very rarely. Most of the times I'll go through paper first, even if I mean sometimes I'll just do a little thumbnail on paper just to get the feeling of it. Then I'll just snap a picture and put it on Photoshop to finish it up. But like I said, it usually goes through paper first.
Hmm. That's a beautiful process. I love it. And
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
I know Willie's sitting there right now, and he's like, I want to see the sketches.
You know me. You know
Yeah, I
me.
mean, I've got a whole shelf of sketchbooks dating all the way back to 2010.
Wow.
Or maybe I should snap a couple of pictures later. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some. I mean, one thing I like about sketching on paper is not only do I feel more comfortable, but it's also a way of how can I say it? Um, Keeping the ugly shit, because I mean nowadays people with how things go on the internet, we never see the ugly shit. you never see the 10,000 awful drawings people do to get to a really cool drawing. And sometimes, you see, sometimes you don't even have the 10,000 ugly drawings, but it's something I've always cherished.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'll just go flip through my old notebooks and see these really awful drawings from ideas I had back then that now turned into something else. And it's I don't know, it's a warm fuzzy feeling seeing them in those initial ugly stages, and it's for me at least, it's a way of um I don't know, seeing how far I've come as an artist, I guess. Because like I
Yeah,
said, I've got,
it's
notebooks. Yeah?
it's very iterative, right? And so like
What?
I feel like people who get rid of that ugly shit, the beginning stuff, like they're trying to
Hmm.
get rid of the iterativeness of it. They're just trying
Yeah,
to show the
yeah. I
final
mean,
product. But I as a collector, I like to see the process. I like to see the early drawings. I like to see the storyboards of a movie kind of thing.
hmm,
Like I
it
like
is
that kind of
cool. Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. I like it. I like it as well. I mean, and sometimes I'll post some sketches. I think I should do it more frequently because for every piece I have, I think I have, at least a couple of sketches I do on paper.
And you still
And
have books with all your old sketches.
oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, the oldest things I have here, like I said, I guess it's like 2010 or 2009 or something. But I mean, I do have like drawings dating back from when I was 7. But I mean, from my professional years, I have like, a lot, a lot of uh, from 2010 to now. I've got quite a few. I've got a whole box full of, loose sketches. I've got some notebooks. I don't know. I just like to keep those things. Sometimes I'll just, if I'm on a if I'm on a creative block or something, I'll just rummage around my box full of loose pages or something, and I'll pick something up and I'll say, "Oh shit, this was a good idea." So, and sometimes it's something I did like 5 years ago or something, and I'll rework it now, and it's an old ugly idea, but now it looks good because I'm drawing way better than I used to draw as 5 years ago. So it kind of serves this purpose as well, as sort of like a journal or something like this lifelong journal of sorts.
That's
Yeah,
good. That's
very cool.
and I mean, hey, maybe in the future, when you're no longer on this earth, maybe those sketches will be worth the big money.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I hope so.
and somebody
I mean,
will.
there's a classic story from Robert Crumb that he bought a villa in Italy using only one. I mean, two with two sketchbooks of his. He sold it he gave the guy two sketchbooks and he bought a villa in
Wow,
Italy, and that's fucking amazing, dude.
dude,
That's a story that, yeah, I mean, that's super badass, man.
that's goals right there. Maybe one day my
Yeah, it is. It is. Man.
one day my show notes book will be up there on auction at Sotheby's, and no, just kidding.
Yeah,
They'll
man.
they'll flip
You
through.
never know, dude. You can buy a villa with that shit, man.
They'll flip through this and go, "What is this cryptic crap that he's got written down? Look, it looks like wine was spilt on this page, for God's sakes." And that's a true story, by the way.
I don't know about buy, but Fitz might invite you to his villa if
Yeah,
if you just show him some
I
sketchbooks.
guess I should just say that I have a villa in Italy already. Sorry, it's a small little beach house, nothing special. Um, and it's not even on the beach. We call it the beach house, but it's not even on the beach. So, eh, whatever. No, that's really cool to hear that you work like. I mean, it's cool, and again, I say that we hear that echoed quite a few times with many artists that
Hmm.
the whole pen and paper is where the heart is, and then how you digitize it and what you do after is the next step to it all. But that's really cool. Yeah, and getting the inspiration like that is
Yeah.
definitely that's definitely
Uh,
something right there, right? Like you're stuck, you're not feeling creative, and then you just start flipping through and go, oh yeah, boom,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
that's
I
beautiful.
mean, and I obviously, I don't judge. I think people, people do it. I mean, differently, you know. So, like I said, I mean, there are a few pieces I start out digitally, but I mean, for me at least, starting out on paper, it's where I feel most comfortable, I guess. It sort of feels like home. I mean, it's like what I've been doing all my life, ever since I was a kid. So it kind of makes sense for me to start out from there.
For sure.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
That's,
Yeah, exactly.
well, it's like I always say, right? It's kind of when people, when I talk about how I dress, it's like jeans and a t-shirt. It's what's comfortable.
Hmm.
It's not going out of style, man. Jeans and a
Yeah,
t-shirt. You can make jeans and a t-shirt be fashionable or casual or it's just
I feel you, man.
if it
It's
ain't
same here.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it feels comfortable, that's where home
Ex-
that's where home is, man. That's where home is.
exactly.
Yeah. Um
So
Go ahead, Willie.
these old comic books,
Mm.
are they available anywhere still, or like anywhere even just to view, or?
No, I used to we used to post them on Tumblr, but our old Tumblr just I think deleted it if I'm not mistaken.
You don't
Yeah,
have any
I don't
plans
think they're
of minting those, or
no,
trying to sell those still?
no, no, because I mean it's the I don't know. I think the interesting thing about being an artist, despite what kind of art you do, is that I don't know, man. I think you live many lives throughout your art. And sometimes I look back some of my, because I still have the printed versions of those comics. And sometimes I'll look back at them and I'll be like, oh,
Cool.
damn, dude, it looks, I mean, there are certain things there that resemble my style today. I mean, I still carry a lot of cartoony things with my style today, but it changed so much. I mean, 10 years ago, it's almost I don't think it has much to do with what I do today. In terms of style and even yeah, I think more in regards to style.
So you feel like it was kind of a time and a place, and it's had its time, and
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because like I said, I've gone through periods doing different things, and I've changed ever since, like as an artist, ever since I did comics. But there are certain things I I learned back then that I still take with me, both in regards to being an independent artist as well as I mean, as well as technical things I've learned, you know, by drawing and so on. And the same applies to, for example, when I used to do animations for music videos. My style today is completely different from back then, but there are still things I brought along with me.
Yeah.
So I sort of assimilated a few things in these different periods, and but despite that, I see myself as a different person, a different artist than I was back then. You know, so
yeah.
I don't think it would. Yeah, I mean, and the same applies to my animations. I guess the music videos. It wouldn't make sense to to to. For example, I don't think legally I would be able to do that either. But anyway, if even if I could, I don't think it would make sense if to mint those animations because it's so different. I mean, there are certain things in my animations today that that hark back to those times. But I mean, uh, I don't like to use the word evolved because it gives the impression that what I used to do was bad. But I've changed, so I don't know if it would make sense.
Yeah.
I
Feel you.
I do believe I remember while I was looking through your collection over the last week here, um,
Mm-hmm.
that I remember you pointing that out about that you've worked on a style and this is your style and you've kind of honed it
Hello.
in and this is how you are, right? Which is it's cool.
Uh, uh, you got cut out. I didn't hear what you say. Sorry, dude.
I was just saying that I remember reading in one of your pieces or whatever about how you're honing in your style, and that what you create now is
Oh
your
yeah.
style, and it's very true. Like when I look through your pieces, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, right? Like it's like, well, that's a Daniel W. No doubt in my mind, right? Like um, so that's cool.
Mm.
That's really, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I get that how you just kind of don't want to, that was a time and a place, and you don't want to, I guess, dilute what you're doing now with something that looks a little different. It's not.
Different brand.
Yeah, I I think actually, now that I think about it, I think the when I was both animating and doing comics, I was still kind of looking for my style. Actually,
Mhm.
I had a particular way of drawing, but I was still kind of testing out references and learning a few things here and there. But I remember that throughout those years, I was always kind of unsatisfied with how I was doing it. It was always like, I could not that I am satisfied now. I don't think you ever are satisfied. You're always learning, but now currently I feel like I kind of found my style finally after a few years, after a lot of years actually. And so I think the difference between me now and me back then is that back then I was still searching. I was still kind of like,
Mhm.
oh, what is my style? Now I kind of know it a bit.
Right. Um, I
What?
definitely I want to talk about your new collection that you've just started to release today. But I wanted to go to this.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to go to this kind of style thing here. Like
Hmm.
I just purchased one of your pieces, High Gear, I think it was called.
No, thanks.
Yeah, no, I just got that. Like that was the one that I've definitely over the last week. I'm like, I need to go back and I need to buy that. But I look at these, and it's really crazy because they look like they are like offset printed on pieces of paper, like the way that the texture that's to them
Yeah.
and everything like that. Like is that what, I mean, obviously it's what you're going for, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is.
Oh, it's
Yeah, I've always been. I was. Oh no, go on. Go ahead. Sorry, sorry, sorry.
no, I didn't have anything to say there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I've always been sort of a texture freak, I guess, and then I've always had this weird thing because whenever I paint on canvas, I've always tried to make. I don't know why the fuck I do this, but whenever I paint on canvas, I always try to make it sort of look a bit digital. So with super crisp lines and flat colors and so on. But when I work digitally, it's the inverse. I try to make it look organic. I mean, ever since I used to work with animation, back then I tried to make it look as traditional as possible. I mean, despite it being digital. And I mean, the same applies to digital illustrations. I've always been super fond of this analog organic feel to these things, even though they're all digital, and it's something I really I mean I really love it. I like it a lot.
No, it's and it comes through like this. Like when I look at this piece, and even when I zoom in on it, like I get that. Like it looks. I want to say that it looks like a piece that's printed on like I remember back in school we used to. I remember in a couple classes we made our own paper in art class, and then we had to do
Mm-hmm.
our pieces on it. And I mean, when I look at some of these pieces, like that's what I see. It looks like it's like it just like it looks like this piece exists somewhere on a really thick heavy piece of cardstock or something like that. And it really
That's awesome, dude.
so successful on that end for sure. You've nailed that, like for sure. I had to get this one piece. I just had to get this piece because it's fun. I mean, the cars that are in it and they're just hanging out, the homies. It's like I dig it. There's so many. There's
Yeah,
so
I
many
love this
great
one.
pieces.
This one was a homage to my friend that used to do comics with me.
Okay,
He's a real big car nut. He loves cars and drag racing and drifting and so on. So I did this one sort of like inspired by his love for cars.
awesome. Well, I love it. I bought it. I'm gonna make somebody happy because I do believe I bought it off a secondary. So somebody's gonna wake up in the morning.
Nah, cool.
Yeah. The other one that I
Or
like,
mad.
or mad, yeah, because they'll be like, shit, I had that listed when Tezos was $9, man. But even the one
Sucks
that
to be you.
even the one that's next to it, if I had more Tez, I'd buy it too. Is Chillin', where you got the dude doing a kickflip over the other guy. It's like awesome. These are all of your pieces like the. I mean, you do have some. You did some monochrome stuff as well, but I mean the thing I really dig about the color stuff you do is just the palette that you've chosen, and it's so vivid, yet like and it's very and it's honestly, I mean, well, you know, I'm speaking from what I see, but it's like it's very limited in the colors, but you seem to pull so much out of them with the shading and everything like that. Like you just do a very like it's I don't know. I'm not a
Thanks, man.
yeah, I really dig them. Like,
Yeah, I chose this palette specifically because of the limitations, actually, because a huge issue I have is I suck with making decisions, and that applies specifically. I mean, especially with colors, because there's like a whole bunch of fucking options when it comes to colors, and I've always had issues with. I mean, when I started drawing at first when I was a kid, I mean, back when I was a teenager, actually, I spent most of my life drawing black and white. I actually only started using colors a few years in when I was doing comics. Then I started. Then I said, well, let me start using colors. But then it was just such a hassle because I mean, you have all these colors and you gotta choose, and I was like, fuck, man, why do I have so many colors? And then all of a sudden, you know, I always was a fan of blue and pink. They're two amazing colors. They're beautiful. They work so well together. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. I mean, I'm gonna use blue, pink, and yellow. You know, CMYK. And after I decided that, I just stuck to it, and it's fun because you don't have options besides these four colors. You just have to wing it, and whatever you do within those limitations. I mean, uh, it looks interesting because things don't look like that, and I guess that's why I like it. You know.
right?
It definitely differentiates your style too by limiting those colors, you know, and only working within that palette. Like it's
No, thanks.
very signature.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It definitely dives back into the we know that this is a Daniel W. Like,
Yeah.
for sure. It definitely plays.
Oh, cool, man. Glad to know.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
If I saw some greens and purples, I'd be like, somebody's trying to rip off Daniel here.
This is fake. This must be a Daniela W, man, for sure. Right?
But hey, I mean, there are, I mean, I think like two or three pieces where I put some green in it, but I think it's like two or three. There's one from the Redux where I redid a Frida Kahlo that I mean, I just had to use green, dude, because it's all leaves behind her, and I said, well, I mean, let's do some green here. But it's
the
like
apple,
only two or
the
three
apple
pieces,
in the redo from Renee.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, that one as well. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm just flipping through the pages here, and I just looked at your Tesnowns Artist Edition. I didn't even realize. I knew this was. I remember seeing this when it went up for auction, but I'm like, and I just came across, and I'm like, oh shit. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I had to put the little double dude there, man. I love him.
Yeah, no, he's totally killer. I was gonna say who owns that one. I was just gonna look at that. Somebody got that for that was a smoking. That was one of the first ones that went up too. I think. I'm just.
Yeah, it was. It was second week, third week, I guess, of Tesnums. Yeah, shout out Flex, man. He's fucking awesome.
Dude, he's a legend.
Because Rex did.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, Flex is a total legend. We had vending NFTs on, right? We were like, yeah, we got to get vending NFTs. We got to get vending NFTs. And then when he came on, I was like, well, what do we call you? He's like, well, Flex Rexosaurus or whatever is fine. And then Willie's like, wait a minute. You're fucking Flex Rexosaurus? He's like, holy shit.
Well, that's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I remember the first piece he bought off of me. I think it was a 101 It was a collab I did with a friend of mine, Ted Gasparian, who's another awesome artist, and we released this 101 collection. And I think no, it wasn't the first piece Flex got, but it was the first one he caught that I noticed him. And then I saw that his name popped up, and I was like, "Holy shit, Flexosaurus Rex! That's such an awesome name, dude."
Right?
And it's so amazing, dude. I love it, dude. I love that name.
And he can own that name too. Like he's not. It's not just like anybody. Somebody else could have had that name. You'd be like, yeah, whatever. But it's like when you look at his wallet and you look at how he's collected, and it's like, yeah, no, dude,
Oh yeah,
you got flex.
no, that's Flexosaurus. Yeah, he is a Flexosaurus Rex, man. He
Yeah,
is.
no,
He's the goat, dude.
absolutely.
He's one of the coolest people in this space, actually. I mean, the Tez Vend machine, that's fucking genius, man. That's genius. I just love it.
It's
It's
definitely
an awesome
consumed.
product.
It's definitely consumed some of my Tez, and I'm not disappointed for it either. It's a brilliant
I mean,
idea.
it's an awesome project, dude. It
Yeah.
is. It's such an awesome project. It's a way, and it's such a cool way to spread out art and get people to find new stuff. It's just so cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've because I know Willie and I have both collected from it lots of times, and the one
Hmm.
thing that Willie has pointed out a few times is that you end up getting these pieces and you keep them, and all of a sudden you'll be
Hmm.
getting random airdrops. And why you're getting random airdrops? Well, it's because of an artist that you collect that you happen to get out of a Tez vending machine, and now this artist is just you know randomly airdropping people, and you get all these wicked airdrops too and stuff. Like it's just yeah. And I mean his background just it lends its hand to curating the Tezos vending machine for sure, because I mean he's a curator,
No,
right? Like
definitely,
he's just
definitely.
yeah no
He
the,
is. He is. I mean, he's one of those people who takes the title of curator and collector seriously, and I think that's fucking awesome. It's one of those things that makes the whole scene turn. You have to have these kind of people to make it work. It kind of reminds me again of back in the punk rock days that you have. I mean, obviously you have to have bands, but you got to have all sorts of other people as well. I mean, people who create zines, or people who do art for merchandise, and people who produce shows. I mean, there's so much that
the
goes down
venues where
in
the host shows
artistic
are, right?
scenes
Yeah.
apart from the artists. That has to exist to make the whole thing go round. And
And everybody
and
has to
it's
be on that
interesting.
page too, right?
Huh?
Like every
What?
I said, and everybody has to be on that same page and working towards that same goal, and the
Exactly,
same love.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I mean, it's easy to just say, "Oh yeah, I'm a collector," but it's hard to be, a fucking collector like people like Flexosaurus or Clown Vamp, or there's some people who you just go, okay, this person is a collector. It's different,
Hmm.
it's a different vibe to it than just collecting,
Yeah.
and oh yeah, I bought a real expensive piece. It goes way beyond that, I think.
Hmm. Well, you look
I
at
mean, in all the respect. Oh,
I was going to say you look at
too.
somebody like Flex and Shilly Preston is another one. Like
Oh yeah,
they're legit real world. Like they were they like they're trained in that. Like that's legit. What they, like they were actually those people that used to
yeah,
actually
yeah.
like that's like wild, man.
No, no, Shilly, I fucking love him, dude. He's amazing, And what I think the cool part about him is that which is another thing that I think is cool about. We mentioned AI previously, and it's cool to see people being able to create art. People who don't draw, or be able to have a creative output
Right.
in some way. And Shilly's AI pieces are just fucking amazing. I love him,
Mhm.
dude. He's an awesome collector, and he became an awesome artist with these AI tools. It's just super cool.
Yeah, for sure. That was one thing we talked about because I mean he's taking his knowledge of the art and the stuff that he's curated over the past, and he takes that and uses that as inputs for AI to create these killer pieces.
Yes.
Just killer. Another great collector is actually in the room tonight too. Mike Nash is down there. He's in our Florida studio.
Oh,
He's in our Florida studios down there. He's a great collector. That man. He's a 100%. If you want to watch wallets, you watch that guy. Glad to see you in here, Mike.
Sick, huh?
Just give you.
Oh, he followed me. I'll follow him back.
We're all there.
Sup?
We're all there. I'd just like to take the moment, since I'm giving a shout out to Mr. Mike Nash down there, who's in our Florida studios. You know, Lexi Hart's in here, Monomel in here. Thank you, Rage, Meriden, Fariz, Nerd City, Jade Hirth down there as well, and the many other invisible listeners that are here that I see down there as well. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Just wanted to take a little moment and a break to give everybody a shout out that's in here. 100%.
Oh yeah, man! Shout out Nerd City, dude.
That's one of your
Super cool collector, Jade Hirth, man. Shout out.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Good crowd in here. This is good conversation. This is every Tuesday. I'm excited for these spaces, and I'm even more excited once I get into them and I start learning about the people and chatting with the people and getting the whole vibe and the background on all the piece and all the stuff, and just really, really pumps me up. That's why I come in here every Tuesday. It's 100%.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
It's not just me.
Oh, Willie, I didn't want to say that, you know, because if I said it was you every week, then nobody would show up anymore,
Yeah,
you know?
True. True.
I would, you know, and honestly, oh, she's not in here anymore. Never mind. I don't have to say anything nice about the A&R department anymore. She's not here, so never mind.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the only reason is because of the A&R department, but it's not true. It's Willie. It's all about Willie.
Well, I mean, you two got a good chemistry going on, dude.
Thank you. Have you ever listened to any of our spaces prior to this? I don't believe I've seen you in here, but I could be wrong.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Actually,
Fair enough.
I listen to very few spaces. Actually, I got to start listening to them.
Me too.
To be honest, yeah. I mean,
it's tough, man. It's really tough. Like I'll tell you what. Like I mean, obviously Willie and I have been hosting this space for a year, and you know we're very active on Twitter, and we love to promote all of our artists. We're friends with a lot of these artists and the listeners and stuff like that. And then I you know, especially through the WX8BK account, I get so many invites to spaces, and it's not even possible. It's not even possible. If it's, you know, I mean, I have a real life job, right? So I work in a mechanic shop, so it's not possible for me to join these all the time. But when I do, man, I really enjoy them when I do. You know, there's been a couple crappy spaces I've gotten into, but you know, that's not usually the ones that people invite me to. And especially if you know, if you got real life stuff going on, you can't always listen, right? Like I don't know what you do in your real life, you know, you family or job or whatever, but yeah, man, it's tough to listen to them all the time.
yeah. I mean, I think I gotta. I mean, because I always have. I have periods in my life when I have certain set things I listen to while I draw, because that's what I do most of the day. I'm usually just sitting around drawing. You know, I mean, I so sometimes I'll go like 6 months only listening to music, and I'll just listen to music. But then all of a sudden, I'll just go like another 6 months just listening to, I don't know, fucking creepy pasta narrations on YouTube, you know, and I'll just get, you know. I mean, to be honest, that's my jam at the moment. Shout out creepypasta narrators on YouTube.
Hey, whatever gets you flowing.
I mean, come on. There's some dudes. There's some people that are legit fucking good, dude. There's this one guy. Forgot the name of the channel now, but he's been my favorite lately because not only does he narrate very well, he's an amazing voice actor, but he's also an amazing piano player, and he uses that to, you know, make this ambiance for the story, and it's so fucking good, dude. So lately that's been my shtick, you know.
Cool. Yeah, whatever works. I mean, some people find it very odd with me. like sometimes I like nothing at all. Like I'll be out working on a project in my garage, like working on one of the vehicles or building something, and they'll come into my people, buddies will come over and they'll be like, nothing, no radio, no anything like that, and they're like, dude, like what are you doing? This is weird. It's like, hey man, this is I'm in my zone, man. I'm in my zone.
Yeah, I super fucking get that, man. I mean, it's when you think about it, I mean, it's what you're actually supposed to do. Uh, I don't remember what interview that was I saw once, but it was an interview with this old animator that, and the guy asked, "Oh, what do you like to listen while you draw?" And the guy said, "Man, nothing, because I gotta be full on focused on what I'm doing to be able to properly animate." And when you come to think about it, I mean, most of the times when I've been 100% in the zone, it's when I was in complete silence, you know. But it's hard to be able to be in complete silence sometimes. Sometimes you just need some background noise going down.
Mm-hmm. True that, like my dog barking in the background right now. or kids running around or whatever it is. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You guys have kids?
I do not.
I do.
Willie does.
Yeah, I do.
No, really? Yeah, yeah. Okay, I got two of them too.
All right. I've got a dog that's my closest thing, and I've said it numerous times in this space. I've been raising a dog for 5 years, and I admire you folks that have children. My Christ. No way could I do that, man.
I mean, it can be hard, but it's fucking awesome, dude. Yeah. Especially because now my oldest is he's drawing. He loves to draw, and he starts. That's a good thing about having a simplified style of drawing, is that it's easy for him to copy, and he's been copying a lot of my stuff, and it's just so fucking cool, dude. I mean, the kid's so awesome, dude. It's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
That's beautiful.
It is.
I do see that. I do see that connections. I mean, I never personally, I never wanted to have kids because I was so absolutely terrified about having kids and raising that little, human being that is a reflection of me in the end in the world and stuff like that, and wanting to provide and stuff like that. But it's like, as I've gotten older, and being an old guy now, like I look at it and I go, well, I see how it is. It's like you have children and you raise them the best you can with what you have. It may not be the best, it may not be the worst, but it doesn't change the way that you can still raise that wonderful little being like a great person, right? Like I've seen people that have nothing living on the streets that raise wonderful children, and I've seen people who have been super rich and have everything in the world and create really crappy kids. So
exactly.
Yeah, I chickened out. I said I chickened out is what I said at the end there.
Yeah, I used to be super scared about the idea of having kids as well before I had them, obviously. I mean, I still am, because the thing is about having kids is that you're I guess perpetually scared about a lot of things.
All right.
After you have kids, yeah. But I don't know, dude. I mean, it's what I told a buddy of mine the other day. It's probably the most psychedelic experience I've had in my whole life, and I've had a few. But having kids is like the most out of all of them, because it's just so crazy, especially when they start. They go from baby to person. Then it's just like, wow, man, you're talking to me and shit. That's fucking amazing. And when you see that they're becoming cool people, you're like, wow, I made you, and you're a cool dude, man. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, it's super cool.
Thanks for being a cool kid. Some parents
exactly.
Some parents are going. Some parents are going. Ah, oh, Jesus Christ! You know what, son? You're 55 years old, and holy fuck, I can't believe I created you. What's going on there? But I have to say I love you. All right, there we go. Cool. No, that's dope. That's dope. That's fucking. I love to hear it. I mean, I don't totally regret not ever having children by my age, but I see it. I get it now. I understand it. But They don't hand you that handbook, when you're a kid. They should hand you the handbook
Mm.
of adulting
Well,
and
not when
go.
you they shouldn't hand it to you when you're a kid.
Well, maybe
No, yeah,
maybe it could
definitely
be a
not.
picture. Maybe it could be a picture book, right? Work you in. You get chapter 2 when you become a young adult, and I don't know. Maybe that was a little extreme. Okay,
Oh,
maybe.
that handbook. Oh, I thought you were talking about the parenting handbook. I'm like, no, you
Oh
shouldn't get that
no,
when you're
no,
a
fuck
kid. No,
no,
no, no. There's way too many underage
no.
pregnancies around here.
I was gonna say there's no
Oh
fucking,
yeah.
there's no parent handbook, man. There's no way there'd be enough paper to
No,
write that shit on. That's it.
no, there isn't. I mean, having a kid, it's like working a Rubik's cube that's constantly changing shapes. When you think you finally got it, then it turns into a, I don't know, fucking hypercube, and you're like, what the fuck, man? I thought I got you, but then all of a sudden, I don't understand you anymore. It's just,
Yeah. My mom always used to say, my mom loved me to death, and even to this day, and she's like, that was the only one thing she instilled into my head, like when I was in high school and stuff like that. She's like, there better not be no girls' parents knocking on my door saying that here's the baby and we got to take care of it. She's like, she's like, I'll deal with everything else. She's like, you can go to jail, you can do all this bad stuff. And she's like, but if that happens, you're done, boy. I stuck to that.
yeah, that's wise advice, dude. That's wise advice.
Um, so to kind of get back, not that we went totally off the rails, it's a good little conversation. I want to talk about your new drop here. That I read the information to it this morning here, the little spiel about give us a lowdown. What's going on? What's happening?
About the new collection?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to talk about this collection, I think I have to talk about the others I've done sort of in the same vein.
Okay, because that was going to be the next
'Cause-
questions, for sure.
Hmm?
I said okay because that was going to be
Yeah,
the next questions.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Which goes back to what I was talking about style. That I said that now I find myself kind of in a point where I feel like I found my style. That was like 2020 that I actually got to this point. And when I finally got to a place where I said, oh, changing my,
Oh,
you
I think
know,
you clipped out there just a
and
little
that's
bit.
where
I
the
was saying,
Rubik's collection came out.
You disappeared there for about 10 seconds. Uh-oh.
Are we losing him?
Uh-oh. It's all right. We can
Not
hang
just
out
me,
here.
right?
Okay, I'm going to do that little dance.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to do that little dance I've been. Oh, he's back.
Okay, can you hear me now?
You bet. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, internet's kind of crappy here at the moment. But anyway, so that's when I started deciding. That's when I decided to start seeing how far I could go with my style. So that's when the Redux collection came about. I said, okay, I've got this thing going on. Let's see if I can redo these famous pieces. And after that, I kind of applied that to the Fungus Among Us collection with the mushrooms. And then the Weird and the Terrifying last year as well. That they were all collections, but at the same time, there were kind of personal challenges to see how far I could go with my style without what things I could draw and still make it look still make it look like me, you know. And this collection has been started out a bit of. I mean, it's the same thing, I guess, in a way. Because I was thinking, shit, I really want to go back to one of these collections I used to do, and I was like, man, what do I draw? What do I draw? And then I remembered the Ars Goetia from the Lesser Key of Solomon, which is a list of 72 demons which King Solomon he summoned and imprisoned, and they're super varied and all sorts of different kinds of demons with all sorts of different kinds of descriptions, and I've always had this interest in, you know, I mean, occult and so on. I'm not a religious person, but I think it's these topics are interesting, especially uh, how could I say it? I don't know. I mean, I find these topics interesting, and I say, okay, let's tackle 72 fucking demons then. And I started out today. And tomorrow I'm actually working on a new one as we speak to mint tomorrow. And I'm actually at first I was like, dude, am I gonna do fucking 72 demons? But then I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
Cool.
And here we are.
72 demons, and the first one is Baal. That's how we say it. Baal, Baal. You had a few different.
Nope.
I was muted. So the new collection.
Oh, okay, no problem.
The new collection is all 72 of the different demons going to be a 72 piece collection.
Yeah. I mean, at first I was like, dude, do I just pick a few or something? But then I was like, man, you know what? It, like I said, I like to challenge myself. I mean, in most aspects of my art, you know, like with the color palette and certain themes and so on. So I think this is going to be another challenge. You know.
Yeah,
at first
that's a lot. That's a lot.
It is. It is, but you know, it's gonna be fun. There's all sorts of weird ass demons. It's gonna be the way I see it is that by the end of this whole journey, I'll be drawing a whole lot better than I do now. So that's the way I'm kind of seeing it.
What are you anticipating release wise as far as like schedule? Like once you know, 2 a week, 3 a week, every other day, every day? What or just as you get them done?
To be super fucking honest with you, I'm planning on doing it daily, actually.
Okay.
Like I've got one in the oven right now that just finishing up to mint it tomorrow. And that's how I've done a few of the collections. Actually, I mean that's how I've been doing it since the weird and the terrifying. From a certain point there onwards, it was almost, I think it was daily till the end. And I don't know, dude. This like I said, it's something I fell in head first, the whole NFT thing, and so I kind of see it as my job now in a way. Mm-hmm. So I'm always drawing. So I think I might as well just. I mean, I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do it daily, but for now, I think that's the plan.
Yeah.
But I'm not entirely sure yet. But maybe, probably.
That's cool. Well, at least, I mean, really there, though, I mean, the roadmap is kind of laid out. You have a lot of stuff to pull from and some really cool stuff to pull from too, right? Like I mean, you know, some of these demons, like I mean, yeah, like wow, like what a palette to pull from. You can draw some.
It is, yeah. I mean, there's a lot to pull from there. I mean, like I said, I really like the challenge. That's how I felt when I did the weird and the terrifying, the mushrooms as well, but they were simpler. The weird and the terrifying was a bit more complex in certain cases. I mean, the very first piece was the headless mule. And while I was drawing, I was like, God damn! I think this is the second horse / mule I've drawn in my life, and that kind of clicked with me. I was like, damn! I mean, I've been doing art ever since I was a kid, and this is the second horse I've drawn in my life. So, and that's something I've kind of become obsessed with, which is sort of expanding my how can I put it? My toolbox, I think.
Yeah.
My to to be able to draw whatever I want. You know, I want to have that sort of creative freedom because sometimes I see myself wanting to create a certain piece, but then I see myself also limited by what I can do, and for me that's uh, super fucking annoying. you know, I hate to feel limited by my abilities. You know, I don't like to not go through with an idea just because I can't draw something. You know.
Mhm.
So I mean, in a way, these kind of challenges are a way of me expanding what the what I can draw. You know.
Kind of getting
Does
out of
that
your
make
comfort
sense?
zone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I think that makes total
Because
sense.
yeah, because I mean, I have this friend. He's also a comic artist. He's probably one of the best artists I've seen drawing in front of me ever. And I mean, I remember once I traveled with him because we went to another convention we had tables at, and I spent days with him. And the dude was just drawing all day, every day, and he draw. I mean, sometimes I just flip through his notebook and to his sketchbook, and it was all sorts of things. He'd draw like dragons, then he'd draw like robots, then he'd draw fucking pirates, then he'd draw some fashion drawings. It was so varied, and I was like, oh man, dude. And it was so awesome because he was always drawing, so his mind was always whenever he needed to be drawing. He whenever he needed to draw, his mind was already uh, in that position to be able to create, and and he was always drawing so many varied things that you know for me that was inspiring, and that's I mean I'm far from being uh, as what's the word I'm looking for? I'm far from being as complete an artist as he is, but it's
Okay.
something I feel like achieving. To be able to just say, okay, draw a fucking motorcycle, or draw a pig, or draw, a ship. I want to feel as less limited by what I know I can do than as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's some super big drive. I'm excited for
Yeah.
you.
Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, that's some anime shit right there, actually.
I was. Oh,
Oh, damn.
sorry.
Hello? Yeah, no problem.
If anybody's gonna have feedback on the show, it's always me. Um, yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I actually just purchased that first piece. I'm so bad.
Oh, thanks,
I
man.
got
Thanks.
Tez in my wallet, and it's like, boom. I'm gonna buy. Yeah, no, and now, but now it's like, well, 72. Okay, well, I'm gonna need more Tez. I've got time though. I've got time.
Yeah.
um,
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be through. I mean, it's gonna take a while till I get to the end of it.
I mean, not. We've known of a couple artists who have done experimentation like this, where they came out with like, okay, one a day, or one a week, or whatever, and it's very interesting to see how it pans out. Um, I
Uh-huh.
I'm honestly gonna say that I've definitely not seen one artist maintain the streak, but they've always kept producing, which is fine. I mean, it's just interesting to watch, to see.
Yeah, I never. All the times I've tried doing like Inktober's and stuff like that,
Right.
I've never went past 3, 4 pieces. So it is tough.
But I mean, at least with this one here, this is your brain. I mean, this is your brainchild, right? Like it's not a created from
Yeah,
somebody else. Like this is your kid. So who knows? I'm gonna
Yeah,
watch.
definitely. I mean, and I don't know. I mean, back to the times of tried Inktober, I wasn't drawing as much as I draw today. I mean, today every single. I mean, it's been 3 years or something that I've been drawing every single day, every single day, every single day. I mean, it's gotten to a point where if I don't like sometimes I'll take a day off or 2 days off, and I'll just feel weird because I haven't drawn, you know. But
So
I've never had to create. Excuse me.
on a typical collection, or even this collection, are you drawing
Mm-hmm.
pieces? You say you're drawing every day. So
Uh-huh.
are you basically just minting the piece that was drawn the day before, or are you maybe drawing a couple pieces a day even, and kind of stacking up and then minting every day and while you're still drawing? Or
Uh, yeah, that was my plan at first. I started drawing the first piece. I think it was Friday or Saturday or something, and I was like, okay, I'll start drawing this early. Then I'll try drawing two or three other pieces. But then come today, I ended up only drawing that one, and I'm like, okay, so I guess I'll have to be one a day then.
okay.
I was just looking at one of these older pieces from the Weird and the Terrifying. I think the collection was the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dokabai, or however it's said, Dokabai. It's the dude sitting
What?
there. The dude sitting there with a bat with the spike sticking out of it and smoking a pipe.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the Korean demon. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. I don't know how the hell you say that name, but
I don't know it either.
but
Yeah.
it's a very cool piece. I was just gonna say, and then right as I was gonna say something about that, I got taken away once again by the texture feel to it, which is, boom, it's there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. These pieces. I mean, I think in a way, this collection, the weird and the terrifying, and the fungus among us, they sort of share a bit of the same DNA because their collections I've made one. I mean, for starters, as challenges, like I mentioned, but I've also tried to make them look collectible, you know, because I really dig things that look collectible. You know, they kind of look like cards or something. You know, they got a certain layout to them. The Weird and Terrifying, I didn't actually do any layout besides the borders and the background colors. But the Fungus Among Us, I tried to get them numbered and had the little icons on the top right corner. I kind of decided to bring that back a bit with with the Ars Goetia collection as well. Um, and I think the texture kind of helps with that feel. I think that's a big part of it as well. I mean, it's obviously not print, but it gives off this collectible vibe. I think, at least for me, it's how I picture collectible things.
Oh, do we lose him, or is that just me?
No, that's just you.
Hey,
That's
hey,
just you, Bits.
It's just
can,
me.
can you
Yeah,
guys hear me?
Are you there, Willie?
yeah. I got you.
Anybody else there with me?
I
Am I
got you.
talking over people
Okay,
that
cool.
don't know?
Yeah, Bits is talking over us.
Oh shit!
Oh damn.
Hold on.
All right, I got it back.
Okay, are you here?
Yeah, sorry. Of course, it was me. That's the whole time
That's
thing.
all good, man.
You know, it's so funny. It's so funny too because somebody posted up. I think it was actually Empress Trash that posted up about this. Like, or I can't remember who it was, but it was like, okay, when you're in spaces, you don't need to fucking turn your mic on and ask everybody if you're glitching or if something's happening or whatever. It's probably just you, and it was. It was just me.
It
Yeah.
happens, dude.
And Willie
No,
It's
just
all good.
Willie messaged me. We're still here.
yeah, I totally like the collectible feel that you're going for there. I get it. I dig it.
The
Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh?
it's very, like stylistic, I guess,
No, thanks, man.
and within its own theme.
the the Faces Among Us collection, is that what it's called? Faces Among Us?
The
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 fungus among us.
fungus.
No, what's the other one? The Faces one.
The
The
Oh,
faceless.
the
Faceless. The
faceless.
Faceless. Right, the Faceless. There it is now.
Oh
I
yeah.
got it. Like that was. I mean, that's a really interesting little collection. Like that's what was what was behind it? What was the drive? At first, when I saw
Actually,
it,
I
I,
mean,
I thought I thought of it as a PFP collection. Honestly, not to downgrade it or anything, or treat it like a
but
10,000 PFP collection or something. But
I mean, it actually is to be honest. At first, it wasn't supposed to be. I made this piece called Old Roots, which I just used the format of a silhouette of a person, and I drew some roots inside of him, and I really liked how it came out. And then I did a couple of other pieces, kind of following the same concept. It was Old Roots, then it was Conflict, Rot, and ended with Rebirth. And I was talking with my wife, and she was like, "Man, these pieces are so cool. Well, why did do a PFP collection?" And I was
okay,
like, "Damn, well, that's right. I mean, I've been wanting to make one like for a minute now, but I never had found an opportunity or a hook to make it. And then I said, oh, let's try out this play. And and the Faceless actually came about as a PFP collection, but uh, each one I try to make them. How can I say it? Uh, I don't know. I mean, all I try to make them all. I try. No, I did in fact make them all. Handcrafted one by one. Kind of sit down and I mean, I've got nothing against generative PFPs. I think there's certain collections that are really cool, but I've tried to make it more artistic in a way, I guess, for lack of better words. But it's a fun one. I had a lot of fun doing these, and I put them in the back burner for a bit, but I still plan on coming back to them eventually. I mean, probably in a very near future, because they were. I think in a way, they were, this sort of became a bit of a little world building experiment of some sorts. I don't know.
Okay. You're like answering all my questions before I get a chance to ask them. I was going to ask if that collection was done or if you were going to continue it. You already answered that.
Oh, okay.
he's a damn good guest, man. He's a damn good
Yeah,
guest.
making my job real easy tonight. I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, thanks, man. Glad it can help, dude. But
what are like
I mean, yeah.
what are
Huh?
what are some of your influences? You mentioned like the occult, you know,
Yeah.
you're really interested in,
Yeah.
and that kind of
Yeah.
feeds into your art,
Yes.
obviously. What are some of
Yes.
your other influences?
Dude. Yeah, a lot of occult. I really dig it. I've always been a really weird, ever since I was a kid, kind of interested in this sort of thing. Uh, Occult, a lot of um, horror media in general, especially. Uh, I don't think there's especially anything. It's horror media in general. I've always been a huge fan, and it's sort of a big, very huge mishmash of things. I mean, it's horror, occult, and cartoons. A lot of street art as well, because I've
Yeah,
always been around. Huh?
what
Uh,
like your cartoon style. I kind of see like some Mike Judge and kind of the Simpsons as in there. So I like
you,
we're
a bit. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Mike Judge and I'm a huge fan of Simpsons, but I think the I think it pulled more influence out of Cartoon Network cartoons,
Okay.
and a bit of a lot of Adventure Time. I'm here. I'm a very huge fan of Adventure Time because I really
Okay.
love
Yeah,
how
I could see that in there too.
yeah, because I really like how they create this environment which is very colorful and cartoony, but there's this really dark undertone to it, and there's this there's something really evil in that whole scenario, and I really like it. It's weird, but at the same time, it's super cartoony and super colorful. I like the contrast, and a lot of Cartoon Network cartoons, a lot of Golden Age Nickelodeon cartoons as well, which I grew up watching. Um, a lot of street art because I mean, most of my life has been around graffiti artists and pichadores, which is a specific kind of street art here in São Paulo. Um, but yeah, mostly it's this really weird mishmash of horror, witchy, occult, and cartoony stuff.
Did did you ever were you ever a street artist yourself? Did you ever
No,
paint any
no,
walls?
no. Unfortunately, not. I've always wanted to, but I've always been kind of chicken shit for that. Unfortunately, but I've always had friends who were street artists, and I kind of lived through them, I guess.
Yeah, you can totally see some of that, especially the Brazilian style street art in your work. Um, I don't know, I'm a big fan of street art. So like,
Oh, cool, dude.
it's you can tell like regional styles in street art.
Yeah, yeah. São Paulo has a very specific kind of it's very São Paulo-ish how we do things around here with pichação and so on. I mean, it's especially in my animation days, that was a huge influence because most of my animations back in the music video era of my life were involved drawing over videos, animating over videos that were shot. And
Okay.
so, yeah, so in a way, I mean, I'm not a street artist, but I kind of thought as one while I was doing these videos, and this kind of, blended into my DNA as an artist, I guess.
Yeah, I almost thought that's where your limited color palette came from too. Because street artists can't always carry
But
a ton of cans, so they always try to like limit their color palette a lot.
yeah, that makes sense, dude. I never thought about it that way. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, especially considering back when I was doing animations, they were simple, for like a better words, and they were also a very limited color palette. So, I mean, I guess in a way, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
That's one of the other things, as you just said that about. Oh, it's me feeding back about animations. That's the one other great thing about this Faceless collection is that they're all animated and
Yeah, yeah,
hand drawn, which is just beautiful.
yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, when I started doing this, it was kind of because after I got into NFTs, I started animating a bit less. I think it was kind of because by the end of my my run as an animator, I had a case of burnout, which was really bad, and I think it screwed up my relationship with animation a bit. And I've after I got into NFTs, I started animating a bit less and focusing more on illustrations. And I guess the faceless was sort of a way of me trying to get back to it, sort of mend my relationship with animation. Because I mean, despite the the rocky situation I had, it's something I really love doing. It's super. There's ways you can express yourself via animation that you can't via illustration, and vice versa. And I started missing it. It's a fun way of expressing oneself.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the faceless has been a way of me mending this relationship a bit.
Beautiful. Well, definitely. If you definitely something you need to go back to and relive. I'm excited to see the new pieces that come out of that as well. Because I know everybody here.
Go back to. Huh?
I was just gonna say, and I'm sure
Sorry.
everybody here in this room who's checking them out is probably going, "Yeah, man, I want one of those." I mean, it kind of seems like
I went to go bid on a couple of them, and because the auction started off, in my range, and then they quickly shot up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. I'll keep an eye out.
But I gotta do a few bidders editions. Actually, I want to do a couple for everyone who placed bids on these first 10 pieces. Actually, before I start a new run of the faceless. But I've been thinking these last few days because I'm going to do the Ars Goetia collection, but I also want to continue doing the faceless. So I'm kind of still thinking about how I'm gonna organize the whole thing, how I'm gonna schedule the whole thing to be able to do both things at the same time. But I'm taking it slow first.
Well, for sure, you're driving. You're driving, so we'll all just sit back here and we'll hang out and we'll go on the journey with you.
Thanks, man. Glad to have you guys along.
Yeah, absolutely. These, yeah, I've been sharing them because we also we're on YouTube Live, so I've been trying to share as much as your stuff as we talk about it, and just these faceless pieces just really lend. I mean, it shows your artistic ability, but also your animation capabilities as well, which is really cool.
Oh, thanks, man.
All wound up into one package.
Glad you dig it.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
So you said you're not religious, as you said a little bit earlier, but you're very interested in all kind of this. I mean, looking into all this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'm not religious, but I guess you could say I'm spiritual. I mean, I do believe that there are, things, but I believe there are things that it's not within our. I believe there are things yeah, exactly. I don't think we exactly, and there are things that aren't within our comprehension, but there are things.
We're not the top we're not the top of the food chain.
What?
We're not the top of the food
Exactly.
chain.
Yeah, I mean, there are things beyond, but I think it's too what's the fucking word I'm looking for?
It's too much for our small
it's
human
too high and
brains to
mighty.
take.
Yeah, and it's too high and mighty of us to assume we know what it is.
Right. Yeah.
To say no, the afterlife is this and that, or da 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 da, or whatever. I think we're all everybody's just fucking speculating.
True that.
But yeah, but I'm not religious about it. Like I said, I mean, throughout a good part of my young adulthood, I was an atheist and so on and so forth. But after a while, I started being like, no, man. I mean, sure, I don't believe in traditional religion, the institution of of religion, but I do believe there are, like I said, there are things
higher
we just
powers
aren't capable of understanding. Yeah, I believe in the universe, I guess.
I agree. I agree 100% with what you're
Yeah,
laying down
I
there.
do too. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Mike Nash. I brought him up here a little bit
Oh yeah,
ago,
he
and
raised his hand.
he just put his hand up though a little bit earlier there. I didn't want him to forget. I didn't want to
Hey,
forget what he wanted to
hey,
say.
what's up? What's up, guys? How's it
Hey,
going?
woo-woo.
What's
Hey,
up,
how's
homie?
it going?
Oh man,
It's good.
it's doing pretty good, dude. I'm down here at the beach for the first time in like 3 months, and it's freaking amazing. Um,
Oh, sweet.
man, Daniel, dude, major fan, and I think it was the old building that really like drew me in, and I was.
Ah,
And
cool.
if I'm not mistaken, I think that it was like loosely based on like stuff that really happened or something, dude.
Yeah, it was a really weird part of my life. Yeah.
So
But we can get
it's
into it if you want.
I'd love to, yeah, because that's kind of what drew me in too. I mean, well, I was really drawn in
Really?
by the Redux collections, but
Uh-huh.
I started picking up on Primary, the old building. So yeah,
Well,
I'd love to know the story behind
yeah.
that as well.
Well, I mean, obviously, there's a bit of romanticization behind, the artwork in the old building. But well, let's go back a bit. In 2019, uh, we 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 moved to another building. And what's the thing about São Paulo is that we've got uh, there's it's an issue in São Paulo, but it's also an issue in our neighborhood because it's a really old neighborhood. It's I guess one of the first neighborhoods in the city or something like that. So there's a lot of old buildings, and the thing about old buildings is that they're huge and they're cheap because they're old, and we just had our first kid and stuff, and I thought, okay, cool, this is a good place to um, to live. So we moved there and stuff. Uh, at first, it was super cool because it was a super cheap apartment and it was super huge. It was a huge apartment. But as time moved by, things started getting a bit weird, I guess. Because and at first, I was thinking like, oh man, I guess it's just me being paranoid stoner or something like that. But then my kid started saying he was seeing things, and I was like, damn, like what the fuck? I mean, there was this one time when we were in the bathroom. I had just given him a bath, and then he looked over my shoulder and he was like, "Hey, who's that?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? What do you mean, who's that?" And he's like, "Is it Grandpa?" And I'm like, "What? No, there's no one there." And then he looked over again and he's like, "No, it's not Grandpa." And I'm like, "Oh fuck, dude!" And every now and then he would just go like, "Oh, look at the ghost over there. Look, someone over there." And I'm like, "Oh fuck, kid, stop it, man." And it was just like this really weird, really off apartment, especially because I mean the two main motives which really weirded me out about that place was one, the apartment we lived in was, I wouldn't say it was necessarily at the basement, but it was on the bottom floor, and despite it being huge, we wouldn't get a lot of sunlight in there. So it was really cold and really dark. And what was the second thing? Oh yeah, and obviously the second thing is it was the apartment we spent our quarantine in during the pandemic. So it's like 2 years stuffed inside that undergroundish apartment, and because like I said, old buildings, and again, I'm not a religious person, but I do believe that there are things, and I think that old places uh, tend to have more things than other newer places, and that was definitely the case with that place, and it was super weird because I don't know, man. I'd be constantly feeling like I was watched. I'd hear things a lot throughout the night. Um, it was really weird. My wife would see a few things as well throughout, and she's always been super in tune with these sort of things. She would see things when she was a kid as well. So it was a really weird place. It was really weird. So I guess, I mean, there's one piece or other in the collection which which is directly inspired by what went there, but mostly I kind of just caught the vibe off of the place and a bit of the architecture as well, and created another version of it of sorts, you know. But it was really fucking weird, and I mean it wasn't
Dude,
it wasn't the
dude,
huh?
hell yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. I felt that in that whole collection, and
Uh-huh.
I love the CMYK and your textures and yeah, kind of like the offset print that Bits was talking about, and uh, but dude, holy smokes, yeah, dude, I felt like with like cabinets opening and stuff, I was like, man, this is like something that went down.
Yeah, the cabinets opening, they didn't go down in that building, but they did go down I mean, they do have a history with living in weird places. And when I was a kid or teenager, actually, I was still living with my mom. We moved to this building, and at first it was super, super nice. But that was a place where a lot of weird shit went down. And I mean, it wasn't the mailboxes, but there was this one day where all of a sudden all the wardrobes and cabinets from the whole apartment just flung right open at once. It was super fucking weird, and a whole bunch of weird shit happened around in that other building. So in a way, the old building is sort of an amalgamation of the things I went through in that first building, and then in this last building I lived in as well. Was sort of like it's sort of a compilation of weird shit I've seen throughout my life now.
Okay, well, if we ever go anywhere together, you can have your own room. I'll probably stay in a different hotel.
Yeah, that's super creepy.
I didn't know
Super
that.
creepy.
But I'll tell you one thing, dude. I mean, it's not something I drag around with me. I mean, it's not like I'm constantly haunted with I'm constantly haunted like Japanese horror movies where there's like this ghost hanging on someone's neck constantly. It's not like that. I mean, it's just that I had the unfortunate luck of living in a couple of really weird places. you know.
That's wild, and that's crazy because
I,
I looked at this collection, but I
After
don't
the
think I've
first one, I
read.
don't think it's luck anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
I
no,
think
yeah.
I think something's trying to tell you something.
I mean, I mean, that's the funny thing about it, dude. I mean, because that was the building. I lived at that building, which ah, an interesting detail actually. The first building I told you that I lived in, with the cabinets flying open and whatever and whatnot. Um, a few years later, my mom told me that a dude had killed himself in the apartment we lived in. Obviously, before we lived there. So I was like, oh shit, that explains a lot,
Good
man.
point.
That's a whole fucking lot, dude. But like I said, I mean, there used to be this shit happening in that building and in this last building I lived in. But for example, the house I live in now and the rundown hotel I used to live in, I didn't see anything, so it's kind of like this really weird coincidences that happened with me, you know.
I
I'm not like the.
sorry, I was
Go on.
just gonna say I totally I I'm in tune with that stuff. My mom always used to talk about that stuff when she was when I was a kid, and she bought an old house from the 1800s that they renovated. And she said she let the spirits out that were there because I guess when you renovate and tear down the walls inside and like it lets everything out, like they stripped it down to the bare bones. But the lady,
Really?
but the lady across the street from her that owned one of these big houses, there was a girl that used to haunt there. And what had happened is in the basement of her house, the little girl way back in the day was climbing these bookshelves to get a book, and the bookshelf came over and it crushed her. So then she haunted the house for a long time. Yeah, it was so. Anyways, but yeah. So that's interesting.
Oh, wow, that's heavy, man.
Yeah,
Shit.
I'm totally down with this whole.
Dude, that's like super fucking heavy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to open up like a can of worms. I mean, holy shit. I'm like really into that collection, dude.
Thanks, man.
And the style and the texture, man. I've been into that halftone like print, like newsprint texture, like ever since. Like I don't know. I still haven't been able to achieve what I like. Actually, it's funny because Bits is.
Yes.
I think that was one of my attempts. The profile pic there.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was just going to say that. I said, well, I think you were doing that with my profile picture here. Goddamn Mike Nash 101. Whoa. Property of WX8BK.
I'll give you guys a tip though, dude. The homies at True Grit Texture Supply, those guys, they got the best fucking textures in the game, dude. I mean, they're just fucking amazing. Paper textures and shit. It's just so fucking good, dude. I love those guys.
True Grit Texture Supply. Hell yeah. No, I'm gonna be a number one fan. Hell yeah.
Highly recommended, dude. Highly recommended.
That's one of those moments with you talking about that collection with the buildings and the experiences. Like that's once again, that just really brings to light this, the space, like the Night Train with Willie and I doing this every Tuesday and talking to people like you is like, this is the information that you don't get. I mean, you do the write-ups and there's a story and everything is happening, but to have you here actually telling us and giving us a little bit more detail about this reality and what's behind these pieces just makes me appreciate them even more. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
And indeed, it's even crazier that you did it in the same color palette, because now that I listened to the story from you and then I look at the color palette and I go, well,
that's another thing that kind of fits into that whole challenge concept I was talking about. Because one thing I've been super into ever since I started doing these more colorful pieces was like, okay, let me try to create unsettling images, but without changing my color palette. Colorfully unsettling. And it's kind of hard when you think about it, because when you see unsettling art, illustrations or paintings, they usually tend to have darker color palettes and such. It's rare to find something that's super fucking colorful and super fucking unsettling. So that's been sort of a challenge for me, in a way, which I think it's fun, because sometimes I think I miss, but sometimes I kind of hit, I guess. But I like it. It's like I said, challenges,
That's fucking cool. I like to hear that. And here it is right in front of me. I'm looking at it right now that you're achieving that. Especially once I hear it.
Thanks. I'm glad to know.
We had a street artist on, Schwavevo. He was like the greatest. He was the greatest. Do you know Schwavevo? No.
No.
Okay. Because I think actually was he Brazilian? Was he Brazilian? I don't remember. Willie just dropped out here. I got to get him back up here as a co-host. He's disappeared off of my radar.
What's his name again?
Sorry, Chuavevo, Chuavevo. But he
it might have been Venezuelan or something. I don't know.
was
man.
it? Yeah,
I mean, yeah. I had the best mullet I've ever seen.
yeah, dude.
Hands down.
Here's Willie's back here. But anyways, so we asked. He does a lot of these faces in his art, but like they're very colorful or whatever. And we asked him about that, and he said
He's
his mom
Argentinian, by the way.
Argentinian. Thank you, Willie. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Did his mom have, was it dementia that she had, or was it bipolar?
I think she was bipolar.
Yeah.
Bipolar.
So what he tried to do with what he does with his pieces is he tries to use these faces and these bright colors to show different emotions, right? Like sad, happy, scary, but they're all done in the same brighter style that looks happy. Like, so it's kind of the same thing. Like you were, using the bright colors and still trying to show that you're showing horror, I guess.
Oh man, that's awesome. I gotta look at his work, dude. Could you send me over the chat later?
I was gonna say, what Instagram? Willie, you got his Instagram,
yeah,
right?
I'll have to send you his Instagram.
Yeah, he's not super. He's not
okay,
super.
Cool. Send it over.
Yeah, he's not super active on Twitter.
He doesn't mint. We've been trying to get him to mint some stuff, like get his stuff out there, but I think he's just kind of doing some research, so
But he's very. But IRL, like
someone like you to touch base with him, another artist.
But IRL, his stuff is like, he's very busy, very busy.
Oh, that's good, man.
But yeah, it kind of ties in with the same thing. I mean, you trying to show these different emotions, but using this color palette and the way that he was trying to express that kind of same thing.
Yeah.
That's neat.
I think there's a certain what's the word? There's a certain dissonance, I think, when you have a piece that's unsettling, but the colors are super friendly and colorful, and I think that in itself is something that really pulls me in regards to this challenge of trying to create unsettling pieces, but with colorful palettes. Because I don't know. At least for me, you see something unsettling and it's super fucking colorful and super friendly in a way. It's just it feels wronger. I don't know how to explain. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
dude, I'm totally down with that, man. Hell yeah. I mean, you're drawn in by the. Sorry, I just.
No, it's all good, man.
But you're good, Mike. You're good.
Yeah, you're drawn in by these like beautiful colors, and then all of a sudden you're like,
Yeah, you have to step back a minute and look at the context.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Wait,
dude,
what's going on here?
There's something genius about that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's weird. I mean, it's I don't know. I think how can I put this, man? I don't know. But it's something I've always thought it was weird, but I like it. Making it super colorful and making it super weird.
Well, I guess if you, and also too, if you're trying to get meaning across and get something across, I mean, it's a good way of at least getting people to give it 2 more seconds of a look than they normally would if they knew exactly what the content of the piece of art was to begin with, right?
Oh, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Yeah.
If it's scary and it looks scary, you're gonna be like, okay, that's scary. But if it's scary and it looks like a teddy bear, you go, wait, what's going on?
Yes, exactly. I mean, I like spooky stuff, but I don't know. I don't like to be obviously spooky, I guess. I mean, my Blackworks collection, which is all black and white, uh, in a way, it is obviously spooky because it's all black and white and shades of gray, and I do like it. But I mean, when you go back to that whole challenge aspect of the thing, uh, it makes your brain do a few more backflips to try to find ways to make something colorful spooky, or off-putting or unsettling or whatever, you know
Hmm.
when you're working with black and white. I mean, not that it's easy, but it's I don't know. You have darkness is scary in and of itself, but pinks and blues and yellows, they aren't. You gotta make you gotta dance a little to make those scary.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it makes sense. The content that you're creating has to be more bang on than it does if you throw some black and darkness into it. Because I mean, you put black and darkness into it, that's half of your job is done. All right, it's scary to begin with because it's black and darkness. But when you do it in pastelly or whatever colors you do it in, your art really has to portray what's going on. Oh,
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, you don't have to. There's nowhere to hide in that sense.
yeah.
I mean, and like I said, I mean, I'm not shitting on you know dark art that uses a lot of blacks. I mean, there are a shit ton of amazing artists that create unsettling pictures, which are amazing. I mean, and are dark. But like I said, I mean, for me, it's a personal challenge for me. And I like it. I like to keep myself on my toes, I guess. And uh, I don't know. It sort of becomes a game for me in a way. I kind of create these um, puzzles in a way which I have to uh, um, solve by drawing, you know, if it makes sense. But I create this situation where I like, okay, I gotta, not that I gotta, but I put myself in a situation where I have to create an architectural piece that is off-putting, but I only have these four colors. Go,
You like to
you
you
know.
like to paint yourself into a corner, so
Yes,
to speak.
yes, I do. I do. It kind of gamifies the whole ordeal for me in a way, I
Yeah.
guess.
Definitely
And
challenging
I don't know.
yourself.
What, huh?
I said definitely challenging
Go on.
yourself.
It is. I don't know. It's fun. And when sometimes I hit. I mean, sometimes I miss. But whenever I hit, it's cool because it's like, oh, cool. I put myself through this stupid challenge for no reason, and I made it work. It's fun. I don't know.
It definitely works.
No, thanks, man.
Hell yeah. I'm just going through your black and white collection here right now.
Yeah, those are fun. Those are fun ones. They're super. I mean, I started doing those because, like I said, way back, I had only drawn black and white, so it was. I don't know. It felt like home a bit to draw in black and white again.
Mhm. Well, I guess really like pencil and paper is like probably the first thing that any of us or anybody really does, right? I mean, it's
Oh yeah, yeah.
straight up black and white. Maybe that was just me. Everybody else,
No,
everybody
for
else
me,
is fancy colors.
I mean,
it's
yeah,
for
because
me
I
till this
started with
day.
an iPad and a pencil, so about 6 months ago. I never drew as a kid.
Okay.
Willie never drew as a kid, but Willie's a good artist.
Oh,
I don't know about that.
I've seen it. I've seen it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know how to draw a damn pencil, that's for sure.
That is true. You may not be able to draw with a pencil, but you were able to draw a
That's
pencil.
right.
There you go.
That's right.
okay. There you go.
Enough about me.
Fair enough. How's your throat? How's your throat doing, Willie?
It's all right.
Good stuff.
Not great.
Good stuff. I was just going to take a moment. I was just looking at up at the clock here, and just kind of take a moment to stretch our legs and everything. And Daniel, just to let you know that if you got stuff you got to do in the world, if it's late or whatever, anytime you want to check out, you're more than welcome to. But we're not telling you have to leave. We'll sit here for hours with you more.
No problem, dude.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I still got to finish the piece for tomorrow, though. But fuck, man, thanks a lot for having me. This was super fun, guys. This was super. I was super anxious before coming out, but I was super anxious because I'm always anxious. I'm actually kind of shy, but dude, it was super fun, dude. You guys are great hosts.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
that,
you.
Barry.
Yeah, we strive on trying to make it comfortable. That's our number one goal is just have it feel like a living room fireside chat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the feeling I got, man. That's the feeling I got. Super fucking dope, dude. I really appreciate you guys having me here today.
Absolutely.
So I definitely have at least one more quick question, and then depending on if you got to
Go ahead
right now.
Yeah, you definitely don't have to
No
leave.
problem,
I was just doing the whole mid show kind of like let's
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
I always keep one in the chamber though. I always keep one
Yeah.
question in the chamber just to kind of keep you here. So
No, go ahead.
at the very beginning, we're talking about the guy that loaned you the three tes or gave you the three tes, I should say, and he said to pay it forward. Did you ever pay it forward?
Yes. I've actually onboarded three. I've onboarded five friends of mine that are artists, obviously. Three of them didn't go. Of them, he draws comics for a living, and which is that guy I told you guys about that I traveled with, who spent the whole day drawing.
Yeah,
He's got his own. I mean, the guys who didn't go on with it kind of have their own thing going on IRL. But two of them, they come on and off constantly ever since I think 2021 or something like that. But yeah, I've tried to spread the love, dude. I mean, there was
who are the two that are still kicking around?
Oh, I'll send you the profiles. One of them is a friend of mine called Dexter. He's a really awesome illustrator. He was in Tez for a while. Then I think he went to Sol. I think he minted one thing or other in Ethereum as well. But I think he's coming back to Tez. And there's another friend of mine, Francisco. He's an amazing artist as well. He does a lot of interventions on photos he takes, and he spent like a good part of 2021. Yeah, a good part of 2021 in Tezos, and a bit of 2022 as well. But then half of last year he stepped out a bit, and I think he's coming back now. I'll send you guys the profiles. They're both really dope artists.
Cool.
They're amazing artists. Yeah, sure. I'll pull them up right now. I'll send it to you in the chat.
But my other question that nobody has been willing to answer yet is what exactly is the De La Creme crew, and like how did it get started? Like,
I wouldn't know how it got started. To be honest, you'll have to ask Messiah. Yeah. Because I'm a new guy, dude. I've been inducted like last year. Yeah, last year. They invited me last year. Was it last year? Yeah. And I don't know how it started though. I mean, you'd have to ask Messiah. You have to have Messiah on, by the way. The guy's fucking awesome. An amazing
Chemical
artist.
Messiah, right?
What?
Chemical
Messiah.
Messiah?
No. Messiah.
So how do you spell that?
Messiah.
Messiah.
B-A.
Dude, I'm
Yeah,
telling you, like,
B-A.
none of us are cool enough for the De La Creme.
BASIA?
Yeah, yes, Basia. Yeah, but he writes it down on Twitter. 3A, 5A, 1A.
Wow.
He'll be able to answer. Yeah, he'll be able to answer. He's an amazing artist, dude. He's fucking incredible.
Willie, do you want to get
South
the?
American
Do you
one.
want to? Do you want to get our?
Huh?
Willie? Do you want to get our department on that? What department does that? What department takes care of bookings?
Me. That'd be the us department.
Well, no, dude. Remember, we're supposed to be like we're big corporation here, buddy.
Oh,
you
sorry.
Geez.
Yeah, the booking department. Yeah, we'll get bookings on that.
Yeah, we'll get bookings on that.
We'll get bookings in touch with them.
Our bookings team.
Get our booking department.
They've got, Christ, there's another email. There's another email address I have to make is the fucking WX8BK bookings. All right, I got that one, gmail.com. Okay.
A good one.
Right?
That looks super professional, dude.
and it's all the same two fucking people answering everything.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
I brought Lily White up. She looks like she's got a question. Lily, do you have a quick question before we let Daniel go?
Well, I just want. I had a I was listening on my way home from the Body Part Factory, and I heard you guys talking about the ghosts and the spirits and stuff, and I just had to tell Daniel like, wow. And I heard about like that you got like 3 Tez to get into Tezos. Somebody gave me 2 Tez to get into Tezos, and told me to pay it forward, and here I still am. but the ghost thing, like the house I live in right now, when I first moved in here, was haunted by my cousins.
Oh shit.
Grandma and grandpa. But they left now. They left now. They moved on.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm in the car. For some reason the light's not going off, so I think the door's. Anyways, so that was kind of cool that they left, and I don't know where they, if they moved on to the next place or if they just, I have no idea. But children had seen them, and I had heard them. But even since I was a kid, I used to like, not when I'm awake necessarily, but like when I'm dreaming, I get messages from the other side. And one time this guy was telling me that there was something taped behind a mirror and it was important, but I didn't know who the guy was. And he kept saying, tell my wife there's something taped behind the mirror, like day after day for a month. And I just went on every social media and said, hey, if you've recently lost your husband, please look behind them, every mirror in your house so this guy will leave me alone.
Maybe his wife finally looked behind the mirror.
Man.
But yeah, so Daniel, I hadn't really connected with you before, so it was really good to hear some of your story, and I'm gonna check out some of your art, later.
Oh, thanks, Lily. Appreciate you. Thanks.
Yeah, Lily runs the Teztown account where they help onboard and do a bunch of stuff. I was looking for translators. You said you were a translator earlier. I don't know if you caught that part though.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. What language?
Portuguese to English and vice versa. But it was like, ages ago. I mean, yeah, no, I don't work with that anymore.
So you can't translate it well, or just you don't speak Portuguese anymore? Because you speak pretty good English.
What?
I said you just.
Oh. No, I do speak Portuguese. I mean, I wouldn't be able to live around here.
Sure.
But I left the whole translating business. It's I don't know, not for me again. I guess
Nope.
done too much of it already.
Perfect. Well, we love the path that you're taking now with the art. Totally.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude. It's a hell of a journey. I'm excited for this. It's like I said at the beginning of the
Yeah,
space.
man.
Sometimes Willie and I are we're in tune with the artist that we're having on, or sometimes it's like, I'll be like, "Hey, Willie, I got this person on," and Willie's like, "Who the hell's that?" And it's like, "Oh, I didn't. We haven't shared. Okay, well, like this will be cool." But then then it's such a pleasure, like it is, like it really is, like it just I love this because I mean I trust Willie, I mean I trust anybody that would recommend anybody for us to have on this space for sure in our close family, but like it's just it's so awesome. Like over the past week I've started looking into your stuff and going, okay, I have questions. This is great. Like I have lots of questions.
That's so cool, man. Thanks, man. I'm really glad you guys dig it, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you gained a new collector in me tonight. That's for sure, 100%.
Thanks, thanks, dude. I really appreciate it.
And now I got to look forward to 72 Demons, and
Yeah, I'll be keeping a nice close eye on these demons.
And hopefully,
it's gonna be a long one, dude. It's gonna be a long ride.
And hopefully someday be the proud owner of a Faceless. Or Faces.
Oh, they'll come back. They'll come back really soon. Actually, I'm just gonna give the demons their space. Then I'm coming back with the Faceless because they're super fun to do, man.
That's fucking awesome. I was gonna say just while I was thinking about it too, since you were a musician, what did you play back in the day in the punk days? Did we ask this question? What instrument?
No, you didn't. I was a bassist. I was a bass player.
Oh shit, Mikey Nash. You know anything about the bass? Damn, that's what all the. I guess
I know a little bit about the bass, man. Yeah, hell yeah, homie. Like, what's your favorite fiddle?
I mean, it's been like I don't know, dude. 20 years since the last time I picked up a bass.
Like me too.
That's funny.
But I
don't know. It was a Fender Jazz. That was my favorite. Just a 4th string, it's like something that you can like really wrap around on. Like yours.
I miss playing bass, man. I want to buy another one when I have whatchamacallit, disposable income,
Yeah. Well, how old are your kids? You probably have another 18 years before you have.
Oh yeah, that'll take a while, I'm waiting for those big fat crypto stacks, man.
Right? Yeah, it's gonna happen someday. Stick with it.
Yeah, I will.
It will.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm patient. No
Shit.
problem.
And I forgot what the hell the original question was that I was going to ask before I got sidetracked with the instrument that you played. I can't remember. Oh, I was going to say, if there's anybody that you know in the space that does music that's minted on the blockchain, send them our way.
I've been meaning to find out some blockchain musicians, but because I don't know any, to be very honest.
Right. Yeah. No. That's.
But by the way, what's that? What's the track that that was fucking awesome? Is that on chain?
Sorry, I missed that.
You're breaking up. But are you asking about the track that he played at the beginning?
Oh yeah. Is that on chain? Or
yep.
Yeah, it's pinned up at the top at the very first pin.
Yeah, it's pinned up at the top.
I'll check it out because I fucking love that, man. It's amazing piece.
Well, you'll be in for a treat because Fendel, who did that one, Mark Fendel, he's usually on here every Tuesday with us. But yeah,
God damn it, dude! He's La Creme as well. He's La Creme as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, you guys know a secret handshake or something. So shit, you know who he is.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, you'll have to check out Vitz's show, NF Tunes. which is, he does it. It's a really quick show, 30 minutes. It's not, 4 hours like this one. But he
I'll
focuses
check it out definitely.
all on chain music.
Yeah.
So, sweet.
The second one's coming out this Sunday. Yeah, it's not even I broadcast it on Twitter, but it's totally not a live show. Like, it's pre-produced, but like 20, 30 minutes podcast style. Like, and I want to get music out there, man. Like, I don't know. I've been into a lot of music spaces and stuff, and I don't think it's correct yet. And I kind of wanted to do a quick, fast, kind of hammer it hard, like an MTV kind of feel to it. I haven't quite reached the MTV feel, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I think music in general in this space, it's almost there. I mean, there's a lot of things going down, but I think we're getting there. In general, I guess, music-wise, on chain, I suppose. But then again, I'm not that aware of how things are going.
I think the biggest problem with it that I would have to say is that it's not amalgamated enough. It's not together enough. It's very spread out and it's all over the place, right? That's my personal belief. And there's no way to play it, right? If you had like an app that you could if you had like an app you could download on your phone that played all of your music that you collected on ETH, all of your music that you collected on, Tezos and Avalanche or Cardano or whatever the hell you collect on, right? Wherever the music is, that would make sense. But I mean,
we didn't think about that, man. That makes a lot of sense.
And also too, I think, once again, we all hear this very often about this whole Web3 world in general, is that we're still very early, and it's all still freaking new, man.
Yeah.
Like, people still have to latch onto it. The one thing that I've been noticing right off the bat, with trying to, this is only my second show that I've tried to produce for it, is that it's very hard to find like just good old fashioned rock or punk or stringed musical instruments. There's a lot of rap, there's a lot of R&B, there's a lot of EDM, which is fine, but I mean, I want to play it all, right? Like, I want to find all kinds of music, and I found that there's not as much of the drums, guitar, bass music on.
But you know what's the I wouldn't call it an issue though, but you know what's the thing though? Nowadays, because back in the day, you could, get a couple of friends and buy some cheap ass instruments and make a punk band. But nowadays, it's way more cheaper to get a cracked version of Fruity Loops or something, and make some beats or make some EDM, or it became a newer version of that punk ethos, I guess. To instead of picking up cheap instruments, you get cracked production software. So I mean, and I think because of that, it became harder to find more traditional. I mean, not traditional. That's not the word. But to find what you've mentioned,
Yeah.
it's much more easier for a kid in his room to produce a track using Fruity Loops or Ableton Live or whatever. Then he finds three, four other people with instruments, and hey, let's make a band or something.
That's very
it's
true.
Way more easier, I guess.
Yeah, that's very true, and I'm pretty sure actually Willie's kind of said that to me as well in the past, and yeah, you're right, it's true. But damn it, we need kids to start picking up instruments again.
Yeah, I mean, we do, but I think instruments got to be cheaper though, man.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of good bands, new bands. Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of new stuff going around. I mean, there's not as much as there used to be, but I think in a way
people aren't very social anymore either. Like
yes, yeah.
So people don't want to get together in a basement anymore. Like, that's not where the dream is.
That is very true.
Be the DJ. So
yeah,
there's a lot of stuff that you touched on just now. all kind of folds on upon itself.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I agree.
Hey guys, I was just telling Mike the other day. I don't know if he read his text messages or not, but that I really want to get together with some people and write a song like in the style of American Pie. You know, that kind of like just kind of crazy all over the place, and like where it names. You know, American Pie was talking about like all different kinds of situations and people. You know that were happening back then. Like it starts out with Buddy Holly and the Big Bop and Ricky Valens' plane crash. I mean, that's what that first bit's about, where he's delivering the papers and he's sad and all that. And then it goes on to talk about like all different kinds of references to people in the music industry. I want to write a song like that for Tezos. What do you guys think? Like, can we do it?
Yeah, write it.
I don't mean me by myself. I mean us.
You need me to produce it? Is that what you're saying?
I need help. Is what I'm saying.
You
I
need
need
everybody
help
together. I can help organize people. About it though.
Not a lot of interest, huh?
What?
Not hearing anything from Mike over there.
Oh, nothing.
Well, Daniel, we know you're a busy man. We really appreciate you coming on. I really appreciate getting to talk to you, even though I didn't get to ask any questions. You answered them all before I could ask them. But that's good. You answered all my questions. I loved it.
I do what I can, man. But hey, I appreciate you guys for having me here. It was super cool, man. Super fun. Whenever you need another professional guest, just let me know.
Anytime. Well, you're welcome back anytime, man. Yeah, don't be a stranger, please.
Got it, dude. Well,
am I back?
Good night for everybody. And,
yeah, Bitch, you're back. Were you?
What? Oh yeah, and I'll send you the names of those artists I onboarded, so you guys can check them out.
Yeah, please do.
I will.
I'd like to
do it in a second.
See how that train or chain works. You know.
Sure, I'll send it over to you guys in a minute.
Okay, am I back? Am I back? Am I here? Jesus.
Yes.
Sorry, I had to go outside and the dog was freaking out and I had the phone but I couldn't talk because it's really loud back there. I was sorry. sorry everybody. What I missed?
No problem,
we should start over again. Okay, we'd like to welcome our guest Daniel. Thanks for joining us tonight. And can you tell us your story from the beginning? Shit, no, I was here. No, dude. Yeah. Thank you very much thank you very much for giving us your time. It's very appreciated.
Hey, no problem at all, dude.
Yeah.
It was super fun, dude. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, whenever you guys need a professional guest again, just let me know, dude.
Hell yeah. There we go. You put that on the business cards too. Daniel W. Professional guest.
Professional guest, yeah.
No, I love
I'll
it.
answer before you ask it.
You'd be surprised how few there are out there.
Yeah, for sure. No. And anytime, you're more than welcome in our space. Anytime we can help you out with whatever we can do or what have you, definitely feel free to reach out to us. Anytime you got something you want to talk about, you got a link you want to share, some new stuff coming down, we're here for you.
Oh, sick, man.
100%.
That's awesome, dude. Like I said, I was telling Willie just now, I'm gonna send you guys the names of those guys I onboarded to Tezos, those friends of mine, so you guys can check them out. And man, that's cool, dude. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me here.
And if you ever want to sell some of those old comic books to a couple 8-year-olds, let me know.
I'll think about it.
They don't have to be on chain. Nobody else has to know.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Back in.
You don't have to be linked or associated.
Cool.
Not everything has to be on chain.
Yeah, not everything has to be on chain.
I suppose.
Well, I don't know. We've got this record recorded right now, so I mean, we know something's happening. We're gonna be paying attention to you people, Willie.
Oh shit.
No, it's not gonna be like that. Cool, man. That was a good conversation. That was awesome.
It was, man. It was fun, dude. Thanks. Thanks a lot, dudes.
You're welcome.
Have a good evening, a good rest of conversation for you guys.
Woo! Willie's probably gonna have to go to sleep soon, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
thank you. But yeah, man, I've been having a hell of a time with audio tonight.
Yeah, me too. I dropped out a couple times. But at least let me back in before having to actually drop out till the last time.
Right.
But yeah, audio's been a struggle tonight.
But once again, I mean, hey.
Daniel was great though.
Oh man, dude. Oh man, like seriously. Like honestly, Willie, this was one of those ones. I said it a couple times in this space tonight. This was a guest where I was not totally in the know of who we were having on until like a week ago when I started casually flipping through the collection, right? Like I go through the collection, go through all the Linktree stuff, start.
Well, we never know how the conversation's going to go either.
Oh, that's facts.
We've never talked to anybody. So like we never know, if it's going to be like pulling teeth or if they're just going to like tonight just answer all my questions before I can even ask.
Oh, dude, beautiful guest. Beautiful guest. Like seriously. We can, I mean, you could have interviews where it's like pulling teeth, which we haven't had. So I don't know, but I'm just, I'm hearing in the industry.
I can imagine.
Right? Yeah, exactly. No,
I've heard interviews like that. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I've definitely heard those interviews where you're like, all right, come on.
You know what I'm starting to realize as we've hosted these spaces over the last year is that people that are shy and quiet can talk a lot.
Yeah, once they get a platform.
Myself included, right? Because I mean, how many times have we heard that? I mean, Daniel said that tonight. I mean, Mike Nash was a prime example months and months ago as well, and Fabi Amata, myself, you, like, man, like it's pretty amazing when you give like you said, when you give the appropriate platform, make it feel like a couch. Fuck yeah. I like it. It was a good space tonight. It was very enjoyable. Next week, just for anybody that's...
Hello. What's up?
What's up, Mike?
Chilling, having a space. What's going down with you?
I don't know. We're just wrapping it up.
That's good.
How's
How's the nest, my man? How you were away from the nest for a few months? How's the nest doing? The nest is good.
Well, yeah. Now it's fine. It took a few days to get where it needs to be. Never mind.
All right. None of my business. I know for sure. It's fucking warmer than it is here.
What was the roar about, Mike? What was that about?
Roar?
Yeah, in the comments I saw roar.
No, that's the thing.
It's Lion King roar. Roar. Or if you're a T-Rex, roar. Roar. What's that? That's a T-Rex. It's a dinosaur. Roar. I collected some Daniel W. tonight. I'm pretty happy with that. Kind of happens.
Yeah, I really dig his style, man.
Yeah.
Dug his style for a long time.
Yeah. I was at the cabin when I started like digging deep into his collection. And I was like, and out of the cabin, it's like my internet's like all spotty, which is fine at the cabin because I don't need to be staring at my fucking phone while I'm at the cabin. There's lots of other shit to be staring at, like, nature. But it was like I started looking at the stuff and I'm like, oh, well, I want this. Oh, and I want this. And then it's like, but it's a pain in the ass to load Tez here. It doesn't always go through and blah, blah, blah. So I had to wait until I got home yesterday. And actually waited till tonight to get those couple of pieces. I'm pretty happy. He's got
I don't have any of Daniel's work in my collection, so I've definitely, when I get some Tezos, I'm gonna have to go have a look and see if I can pick a piece or two up.
It's just fantastic. Oh, I see. There's another Tez Nouns 101 that's up. I don't know who it is. I'm not going to click on it because I don't want to jeopardize the space going down. Right? It happens. Yeah, Ashitaba. I forgot to ask that. I didn't Google it today. So the opening song that we played tonight from Fendel, Ashitaba, the name comes from a plant that Fendel grows. And I didn't know that, but gonna have to look into what kind of a plant that is. I don't think it's a Seattle code for marijuana. I think they just call that marijuana up there in Seattle, but
yeah, I think they just call that weed.
Right? Totally. Next
week,
week.
I don't think they have to skirt around the bush on that one.
No, not especially not in fucking Seattle. Definitely not. Definitely not. I was trying to remember. I was trying to look up and see what concert he was at tonight, but I don't see it. I don't know. It's not anywhere. Next week, we've got Iteration coming on after we had to postpone that. I'm excited for that. Going to be good. Check out Iteration.
Do we this little inside baseball, do we have anybody after that? Is the Excel up to date?
Yeah. Yes, I would say yes. The Excel is as up to date as it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, we don't have anybody next week yet. No, we don't.
You mean after next week? Next week is
after. Sorry, pardon me. After. Yes, pardon me. After next week. Yeah.
Okay, it will likely be pending Dehisi.
Oh, Descendants. How do you say it, Lily?
She doesn't know either.
Yes, I do. It's Dehiscent.
Dehiscence?
Dehiscence. Yeah, her.
All right.
I almost didn't know who you were talking about.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
that's how badly we said it, Willie. Oh, cool. Yeah, that'll be dope. I'm excited for that. That'll be great, Willie. That's straight from. And then is that something that our booking department's working on?
Yeah, that's in the booking department's DMs already.
Woo. Yeah, and I think the one that I mentioned to you yesterday that we were going to try for, I think we'll go for that one as well if you remember. But we'll keep that. But gonna start. We got some big stars. We're gonna start shooting for.
Yeah.
Everybody with 50,000 followers and above, here we come. All they can do is say no.
50,000 followers and above. I don't qualify.
I don't know that anybody does. Who's out there on? I mean, if we're only talking Tez too, who's out there that's got 50,000?
I just made shit up.
Zancan maybe. I don't care to talk to him. Sorry.
I don't know who Zancan is, but all right, we're not talking to them.
Yeah, I just don't really care for it.
That's pretty scary. Oh my gosh, Zancan is cleaning up.
Boring?
No, I don't know if he's boring, and I have never talked to him. I've never seen him in a space. He must be in spaces at some time. I've just never.
Oh, I don't know. I've never heard him speak. I'm talking about. I won't say it.
All right then. We'll change that up.
I can't afford his art, so he's not in my collection either. But
that's kind of the dreams as being, a poor collector like myself and many other people in this space. Is I can't wait. I can't wait until I solidly have Laser Lou money, right? Like where I can just go and drop Laser Lou money down, or big PB money, or big Chris Truman money.
Well, I've got a couple of PBs, and I think I got a couple of Laser Loos. So I must be I must be affluent.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah.
I've had
Willie,
Chris Truman eat one of one.
no dying on air, Willie. Oh, yeah, you do too, don't you?
I do.
I have a Chris Truman Tezos one of one as well.
Oh yeah, you do.
I do.
Couple sneakers in there.
Yep. Oh man, it's one of my greatest achievements is collecting that piece, and then staying quiet about it for so very long because it's like, man, did I really get that piece for that much? My Christ, that was beautiful.
That's the whole goal, right?
Yeah.
Find them before anyone else does, and then sit on it.
I got a few things like that. That was the other thing. I was just flipping here through Daniel's collection. Yeah, I just came back to his Tesnowns artist edition, and that's cool because I remember seeing it, but I don't know what was happening at the point in time where I didn't actually click on the artist to see who the artist was, and or find out about the artist. Right, like I wouldn't have known about him back then either. But usually with the Tesnowns, I was always clicking on whoever the artist was to see what was going on. If Flex is pumping it, then you got to be looking.
When did Daniel say he got into Tezos? So how long has it been? I missed that part.
He said right at the very beginning of Hin. He said,
"Oh, really? He's been around
friend
the
of
whole time?"
friend of his told him about Hin launching like 2 weeks from when his friend told him or whatever. Like, he's like, yeah, Hin's getting ready to launch. You should check it out. And then they gave him 3 tests to get started.
I love the fact that people were like, and even probably, I mean, what was it? So what was Tez back then in the hen days? How much was it worth back in the early days? Like, I know it went up to like, I think $9 was the highest Tez has ever been, if my memory serves me correct. But I think around $4 is where Tezos hung forever, right?
No, I actually it went just a little bit over $11 was the highest that it ever was.
Wow.
And when I got in, which was Hickok was just a couple weeks old when I got in, so it was hanging around 350, 3.5 at that point, and then it went up pretty good, solid in the high fours and low fives for a while, and then all of a sudden, we kind of had this boom, like after July of 2021, and between July and September of 2021 was when the price was up there, hanging around between 9 and 10 for a little bit, off and on, and boy, those were the days. Those were the days.
Back in the days, it'll come again. It'll all come again.
Yeah, I really think so. I really think so. Can I just give a quick message to Monomel?
Sure.
Monomel, I have to go to work at 12:30 tomorrow, so I will not be able to hold the room open. So if you can't, can you try to find somebody? So, okay, sorry, just a little test out.
No worries. Keeping it real. Keeping it real.
Yeah, I usually go in at 2:30, but I have to be there at 12:30 because they gave us Monday off for the holiday. So now they want us to come in extra early.
Bastards. Well, that's the way it is, man. The blue collar life. Lily's living the blue collar human parts life.
Yeah, I processed over 200 body parts today. Human body parts.
Good. That's a good session. Employee of the
Got
month.
any throats in there? I could use a throat.
A throat? Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't seen many of those across my table, but I'll keep an eye out.
I think they're a little hard to make out of metal.
We'll start working on
about elasticity and whatnot.
Maybe I'll 3D print some parts up for you, Willie. We'll get her going.
Oh, like Jurassic Park 3.
Oh, and do the whistle where he does the raptor.
Yeah.
So there's that. So there's a guy that's perfected that now on YouTube. Hey, and the file's available, I think. He actually has done it now and like perfected it so that it actually works and you can 3D print it, and people have been doing it. Yeah, the people have been doing the TikToks where they've been doing it in front of their animals, like their pets, because I guess cats like really go squirrely when it gets blown. But I guess I'll have to print one out maybe. Usually in the summertime, I just shut my printer down. I don't bother printing anything, but might have to print the old Velociraptor whistle.
I might buy a 3D printer just to do that.
Right? I'm surprised you don't frickin' have one yet, but anyway. I'm surprised that I don't have a one wheel though, so that's life. These things.
Is a one wheel
Yeah.
something? I thought that was just. What is refer to? I've never known.
It's like a skateboard, but there's like a giant wheel in the middle. It's all motorized. It's electric.
Ah, so it does.
Well, it's called one wheel because it only has one wheel.
Interesting.
Oh, clever name.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I got to get one. There was I've seen two of the other ones, the unicycle style ones for sale, used in the last couple of weeks that I've been tempted to, but I'm not sure I want that style or not. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean the riding style is completely different.
Right.
From those, like it has a completely different feel from what I hear.
I just think how you have to
and
bend.
Just what I imagine, like it's more like it's just set up more like a Segway, not like a skateboard or snowboard.
I would think with that version, you would have to have your knees bent would be like way more critical and it would be way more fatiguing over longer distances. Not that I'm planning on traveling 100 kilometers, but anyways.
Maybe it's more of a ski style. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't ski.
No ski. Anyways, I think it's 10:08 Mountain Standard Time, 9:08 Pacific Standard Time, 11:08 Mike Nash Standard Time, and Lily, are you also Eastern?
Yeah, Eastern is actually 12:08. Usually Mike's in Tennessee, which is Central, but or sometimes he is.
Oh yeah, right, 12:08.
He should be Eastern. But yeah, I think I scared him off anyway. I was gonna shamelessly flirt with him, but he couldn't handle it. No, I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. Oh my god!
I just realized that we just lost a bunch of people. Our conversation must have not been great, Willie.
Yeah, I'm telling you, nobody tunes in for us. I don't
No,
know.
I know. They don't tune in for us.
I don't care.
That's fine. That's fine. Cool.
That's why we keep that booking department running.
Well, kids, I think
Can I take 2 minutes of your time before you go? I promise I'll be short.
Sure. What? Yeah, sure, Lily. What's going on? What's up?
I think did I get you guys in the Teztown planning thing for the Fear for Tez? Are you in there?
Fear for Tez?
No.
Oh, sure. All right. Well, we're having the 3rd annual Fear for Tez in October, and I want you guys in on it if you're interested. We have this very layered plan. So historically, the Fear for Tez has been our biggest event ever. This is the 3rd annual one. We have a lot of people planning this one. We got LM Designs and the Hash Brown making a whole metaverse experience, not just a gallery, but an experience. They're going to have some live speakers. They're going to have some music inside there. And I can't go in those places because of my brain damage, but I can't handle it at all. But LM's going to build some gamification. I don't even know. I told her to run with it. But we also want to have these real world pop-ups. And I would love bits if you were interested at all. If you would like to do a real world pop-up in Calgary. What am I saying? Calvary. Well, anyways, wherever it is that you live nearby, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. We can talk about it, at another time when people are more awake. But yeah, if you're interested, I'd love to get you in while we're making the plans and everything. The basic concept is that we're gonna break down we're gonna have a contest, and we're gonna break down the contest by like style, like glitch or abstract or photography, so on and so forth. And it's all Fear for Tez is about Friday the 13th, but since it's in October this year, it's going to go from the 13th to the 31st to incorporate Halloween. And I just want it to be like the biggest, baddest, scariest, event on the blockchain.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's communicate. Let's get together. I was just going to say though, October is a very, very, very busy month for me. Very busy month for me.
Okay.
I
so,
do.
I mean,
But let's
even
let's communicate about it. Let's yeah, no, definitely, like, let's talk about it. I'm definitely open. Give me some more. We'll yeah, definitely talk when I'm more awake. But
okay, yeah,
yeah,
sounds
no,
like
for
a
sure.
plan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
even if you don't want to do the pop up, like at least maybe WX8KB maybe can talk about it in their spaces and stuff and
Well,
try to.
that's definitely always a given. No problem there. That's no worries. But yeah, no, get me in the DMs, and we'll chat about it for sure. Yeah, I just say that October's a very busy time for me because yeah, like I do a big Halloween production at the front of my house, like projection mapping and haunted props like out the wazoo and stuff like that. So pretty much October, like as far as free time goes, I'm non-existent.
See, you could have the pop up right there then.
Right
I mean, if you,
there.
you don't have to have it like at some big, because Retro
That's
Manny
not,
says, I want to have.
fuck Lily, that's not totally crazy what you're saying there for sure.
Well, Retro Manny was saying that he wants to like convince these people that have a castle nearby to let him use that for the UK pop up, and I'm like, that's freaking awesome. But I'm telling people if you want to have like a haunted house at your own house or something and do the pop up there, I just don't know how open you are to have like people come in there and put some art up with your whole deal or whatever. But we can talk about it
Yep.
when we're both awake.
No,
But, well,
definitely.
thank you for indulging me on the time there, but I wanted to. The room is full, or I'd bring you in if I don't know, but I'm just gonna have to make maybe some subgroups or something along the way. But
Yeah, well,
anyway,
Yeah, loop me in too, Lily. I might be able to throw some sort of pop up at my house.
oh, that would be cool too. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I have some property I could maybe do something with. I've been wanting to try to do something like that. I just don't know. Yeah, I just don't even know where to start. So yeah, loop me in. Let me know like how I can do that basically, and I can try to get something going
okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, uh, if just a 2 or 3 screens, at least. If some people will have, I'm sure there'll be various sizes of pop-ups, but we don't
there. God,
need to
what if
do
I do
something.
it? What if I do it traveling on the golf cart?
ooh,
How
Wow,
cool
I
would
don't
that
even
be?
know how that would work, but hey.
like all fucking Vegas style, right? Where you got like
Yes,
stripper advertisements, but not stripper advertisements on your golf cart.
yes, something like that.
Well, like those big LED screens. Oh, Willie, that's brilliant. Fuck, dude.
Hey, dude,
Yeah,
I'm open for anything. I just want like people's art to get some exposure and like people to do Twitter spaces showing what they're doing at their pop-ups and just make it fun. And I want to have this song like about our community for people like to get the lyrics out to the people and the music out to the people so that we can, at the pop-ups people can sing the song,
but
and then
you got to get a lyricist like Hash Browns then
hash browns. Yeah. I mean,
or Jay
yeah,
Bird. Got to
gee,
get somebody who can write some lyrics.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, we got a lot of people in our community that could do it. And I would help if they want me to, and I would stay out if they want me out because I just want the song. Like whatever gets me the song. All right.
So,
Yeah. Thanks so much for the time, guys. And yeah, it's always so great driving home, being able to listen to your show and like not feel so left out of the loop.
I'm happy we can
Well,
be part of that for you, Lily.
yeah, of course.
And we're gonna book you in. You're gonna be here. Don't feel like we're leaving you out.
Well, we can now because she doesn't get off work till halfway through the show.
Well,
So
but we'll
we
wait.
gotta find a time
We'll
when she
wait.
can now.
We'll wait. If we'll have her on sometime. I mean, it'll be there. Hell, man, maybe we'll just have to wait and until she's off work, and it'll be, our guest won't come until an hour and a half, 2 hours in.
Okay,
Yes, we can do
so the first week of July, I'm off work, so that's probably the worst weekend ever to try to be on a show.
Isn't your
So,
guys?
there you
Isn't
go.
isn't like the 4th of July on a fucking Tuesday this year or something?
God, I don't know.
I gotta look. I don't
I'm
even
trying
know.
to look.
I'm trying to flip on my.
Yeah, the 4th of July is Tuesday.
Are we
Of
doing a?
course it is.
Oh, see, I can't. See, I can host that space because I can't ask you Americans to fucking give up your Holy grail.
What if we pre-record just before it?
I think that's a good idea.
I plan to be in Canada on July 4th if they're going to let me in. So
if they're gonna let you in.
Yep.
You know the story. They may not let me in.
Funny.
We got planning to do. I guess we have to talk to the we got to talk to the booking department and the planning department and find out, you know, I guess when we have our big meeting on Thursday with everybody on all the levels of our corporation here at WX8BK, we got to start doing some planning. Because aren't you gone away too, Willie? You're booking some time off in July as well, too, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll have to figure that out.
2 weeks towards the end of July.
All right. Well,
I'm not sure what days I'll be out.
We'll have to get all we'll maybe have to get all the departments together. We'll probably have to have the interns host the show for a couple dates.
Yeah.
I don't actually foresee me being unavailable until October. But it might happen. Bits might be unavailable 1 week. Wow. Nah.
Just don't get sick, I guess.
I'd probably be getting married and I'd still be there with like a headset on. Fuck, honey, it's Tuesday night. I'd be looking at it, honey, who the fuck gets married on a Tuesday night anyways? Like, what is this shit?
Exactly.
You're just doing this on purpose.
That's a better question.
You're just doing this on purpose. That's all right. That's like there's no honey in the future, so I think we're good. All right. I think we should call it that.
Wait, this isn't a hypothetical, honey?
Yeah, it's just a hypothetical, honey. Yeah.
But in Bits' mind, she already wants to get married on Tuesday for some reason.
That's how fucking far ahead I am with that's how made up this hypothetical honey is.
No wonder men have such a hard time finding people. They've already come up with every possible problem that could happen.
No, fuck that. She's going to want to get married on a Tuesday. It's going to be a big unorthodox wedding on a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
That's like a funeral, more like. That's like a funeral kind of day. Okay. All right. Fuck it. All right. Let's shut it down. Let's end this shenanigans. Let's let Willie get to bed so he can fucking get some throat lozenges in his throat and do whatever he needs to do for.
I'm gonna get some tea and some honey.
Yeah, buddy. I don't. Okay. Well, that went a little far, but you know, okay, it's good. You get that honey.
I mean the bee kind.
Oh, all right. Next week we have Iteration as our guest. Definitely going to thank our guest tonight, Daniel W. For those of you that didn't hear or didn't catch the whole thing, it is recorded. It is available on YouTube. It's available on Twitter for the next 90 days, I believe it is, or 30 days. So please do check out that episode. It's been a wonderful time. I want to thank him. I want to thank everybody that listened tonight and donated their time. Willie, thank you for coming in with your strep throat and doing what you do so well here on the Night Train.
Thank you.
You did
carrying it.
Yeah, well, you did a good job of having questions that Daniel answered before you got to ask him. So, way to go, buddy.
Actually.
You fucking
tweet my notes out.
There you go. Right. Next week we have Iteration. Hopefully the week after we have Dehescence. We're fucking never gonna get that. Dehescence. We're never gonna get it right. WX8BK, the NF Tunes, episode 2 comes out this Sunday. Keep your eye on the WX8BK Twitter, or if you're not already a part of NF Tunes, please give them a follow. They're up at the top. The next episode comes out this weekend featuring all kinds of great music on the blockchain. I've been Bits. That's been Willie. That's been Lily.
Yep.
We'll see you all next time. Thank you very much for joining us. We're here every night, or every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Night Train. Have a good night.
When I think of you, 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 think of you.
don't think of nobody, only money. Give it to me. They was laughing, now it's funny how they love me. I'm a motherfucking must-see. You must be out of your mind thinking you could touch me. Go ahead and judge me, you'll never fucking budge me. Pockets getting pudgy, accomplishments getting fuzzy off how frequently they come and you know you not really wanted. Stop playing, bitch, you nothing. Don't make me show you, look. Fuck your anxiety, fuck your society. You should ride with me, we gon' mob the streets. Fuck the make-believe, we gon' make the peace. You just wait and see, we taking everything.